dark blue, a little bit of darker shade of blue than his Leicester team. The whistle blows and we're underway, and Wolverhampton Wanderers starting the day 7 points clear of the bottom three, so another win for them this afternoon, a third in a row, and I think they could really start to feel very comfortable about staying up this season. Leicester have the ball inside their own half. They are playing from right to left in the first half. I'll give you the two full lineups in just a second. Tete is fouled from behind, so early free kick for Leicester. 4 changes then from that defeat at Manchester City last weekend. Harry Souttar drops to the bench along with Wilfred Ndidi and Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. Maddison out with illness. Boubakary Soumaré comes into the midfield. It's a back four with Chalor Soyuncu at centre-back, making only a third Premier League start of the season alongside the Belgian Wout Faes. Castagna and Victor Christiansen, the young Dane, the two fullbacks. Soumaré and Tielemans alongside each other. And then the attacking front four that I mentioned, the unchanged Wolves team. Portuguese José Sá in goal. Nelson Semedo, Craig Dawson, the skipper, Maximilian Kilman, and Totti, the Portuguese, playing at left back. Matheus Nunes on the right of the midfield four. Pablo Sarabia, Spanish international, wide left. João Gomes, the Brazilian, and Mario Lemina in central midfield. And then Matheus Cunha, the Brazilian, alongside Diego Costa, who got his first goal for the club in that win against Brentford last weekend. So 90 seconds in, Leicester possession at the moment. Soumaré in between his two centre-backs, plays the ball across to Wout Faes. Now at the feet of Soumaré again. Floats a diagonal towards Patson Daka wide on the left. That is headed away. And Matheus Nunes tries to pass the ball through midfield. He's clipped as he does so, and he wins Wolves an early free kick. Leicester 0, Wolves 0. And in terms of the 3 o'clock kickoffs so far, no goals as of yet. Straight to Wembley after this game this evening on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. The first of the FA Cup semi-finals for you. John Murray and Leon Osman already there and waiting to bring you Manchester City against Sheffield United in full. Here's Matheus Nunes again, chased by Victor Christiansen inside his own half. Plays back deep to Maximilian Kilman under no pressure at all. Low pass from him across to Craig Dawson. Dawson slides a pass out to the right. Little trick from Nelson Semedo. Feeds the ball forward into the feet of Cunha. Fast steps in to intercept it ahead of Diego Costa. And now Kelechi Iheanacho getting away for Leicester. Holds off his marker. Nice pass into Jamie Vardy. Chance for Vardy. Plays it across goal. Must be. No, it's blocked on the edge of the 6-yard box. Tete thought he might have scored for Leicester early in the game. That's a really good opportunity.
Yeah, it's a really big opportunity there. Vardy peels off on the left-hand side, makes that sort of curved run into the 18-yard box. There's a really good ball into him. He looks up, he decides his first touch is too big, so he looks to square it across the face of the goal, and it's just last-ditch defending from Wolves to make that block.
I think I would describe the atmosphere as nervously supportive inside the King Power Stadium, but it's an encouraging start from the home team. Tielemans crossed just beyond Patson Daka, and it bounces into the arms of José Sá. Leicester have taken 1 point from the last 9 games. They've only won 2 of their last 16 and lost 12 of those games. That is why they're in the parlour situation that they're in. I remember watching them win at Everton just before the World Cup. They were on a lovely run then. They made it 4 wins in 5 games just before the World Cup, and he thought they'd have no worries at all. That is not the case. Here's Cunha. Soyuncu stretches to intercept. Daka plays a pass to Tielemans inside his own half. Tries to play it back to the goalkeeper. Pace taken off it by a deflection from Soyuncu, but Daniel Everson, the goalkeeper, making his 6th consecutive Premier League start ahead of Danny Ward. Got there in time. Plays up the left. Christiansen can't get onto the back heel from Jamie Vardy, and Semedo plays it back to his goalkeeper, José Sá. Closed down quickly there by Iheanacho. Hurried into the clearance, and he's hit it diagonally left, and Castagna lets it go out for a throw. Here's Mark Schwarzer.
Yeah, it's a positive start from Leicester, definitely. I mean, you can see both sides are sort of similar in the way that they're going to have to operate.
Tielemans outside of his right foot. Nice ball to the Brazilian Tete. Tete's got a one-on-one here against Totti. Shimmying his body from side to side. Cross takes a deflection. Dawson stretches and heads it away. Christiansen chases it to the corner of the penalty area, nods it forward. Now Daka lost his balance there as he tried to control it. He felt he was pushed. Andy Madley, the referee, not interested. Wolves in this light grey kit, bringing the ball upfield. Semedo, poor pass from him, easily intercepted by Iheanacho. Lopetegui looks concerned in his black and blue tracksuit below. Daka, that's poor, right-footed flick infield to no one in particular, and Cunha is able to bring it away for Wolves. Chased by Soumare, those two go shoulder to shoulder, no foul says the referee. Cunha lies flat on his back, throws his arms out in frustration. He'd be better to get back to his feet and try and help his team out with a little bit of defending here. Tielemans bringing it forward, fancies a dip from range, hits the shot straight into Maximilian Kilman, and then very optimistic shouts of handball from the Leicester fans, and Tielemans jumps in and concedes a free kick. A warm welcome to our listeners across the globe on the BBC World Service. 5 minutes in at the King Power Stadium. Big relegation game, in particularly for Leicester City. It's Leicester 0, Wolves 0. Mark Schwarzer, early thoughts from you?
Yeah, both sides, I was saying earlier on, both sides are kind of almost similar in so far as, Jamie Vardy up front, you want to conserve his energy. Iheanacho is the one that kind of drops in behind and does a lot of the legwork for him. On the other side of things, Diego Costa's similar. The old head up front, not a lot of movement around anywhere other than trying to get forward into that Leicester City box. And Matheus Cunha is doing a lot of legwork for him.
Fulham have beaten Leeds already in the Premier League today. First goal in the 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Football League has gone to Harrogate away at Northampton in League 2. Northampton with a win could clinch a playoff place today. That is not the best start for them. Northampton 0, Harrogate 1. Goalless at Palace Everton, Liverpool Forest and Brentford Aston Villa. I made it, I think, just in terms of today's football, we're covering other sports as well. I think we've got reporters, commentators, teams at 21 different footballing venues today across 5 Live and BBC Sound. So I can assure you that you won't miss a thing. 6.5 minutes gone. First half here at the King Power Stadium. Taking you to Brentford shortly for an early update on Brentford Villa. Let's just see what Wolves can do with a free kick that they've got wide on the left-hand side. Leicester holding the line on the edge of the box. That is curled in. Wout Faes is there. He heads the ball straight up in the air. Ooh, Daka tried to control it by the byline. He's lost it here, and this could be dangerous for Leicester. Another cross comes in. Vardy glances a header away. Falls to Craig Dawson. Hits it with his left foot. Hits it well, but wide of the target, and that's behind for a goal kick. Come in, Katie Smith at Brentford.
Yeah, it's 0-0. Lively start here, Ali. Chances for both sides. First, Buendia takes the ball on the halfway line, bolting through to the edge of the area. Tipped away by David Weah. Then Mbermo at the other end. Cheeky little lob over Moreno. Controls the edge of the area. Saved by Martinez. 0-0.
Leicester take the goal kick. Everson plays it to Faes. Now Soumare. First time ball up to the halfway line. Easily intercepted by Kilman. Wolves trying to work it down the left, and Faes plays up towards Iheanacho. Good first touch from him. Vardy's run into an offside position, so Iheanacho plays back to Castagna, across to Wout Faes. Let's check in at Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace Everton, Lee Blakeman.
Palace 0, Everton 0. Everton with the only shot on target so far. Dwight McNeil tame from the edge of the area. It was low and it was easy for Sam Johnston. 0-0.
Daniel Everson had to be quick there. Diego Costa almost onto him. The Leicester keeper's cleared with his left foot. Christensen has passed the ball into space. No one there for Leicester. The young Brazilian João Gomes looks to play a 1-2 with Lamina. Wolves have the ball in their half. Liverpool, Nottingham Forest, early stages. Conor McNamara.
Nottingham Forest 0, Liverpool unchanged for the 3rd Premier League game in a row. First time Jurgen Klopp has done that in over 3 years. A close range attempt is shuffled away by the Nottingham Forest attack there. Earlier on, Cody Gakpo with the shot on target. Liverpool 0, Forest 0.
Don't always update you with the goals from the National League, but this is a key one in terms of the title race, the promotion race. Notts County 1-0 up away to Maidstone. Wrexham starting the day with a 4-point lead over Notts County. Have got to match their result today to be sure of winning the title and winning promotion. Notts County ahead early on against Maidstone. So as things stand, you'd have Wrexham on 107 points, and Notts County with a win would go to 106 points. Wrexham at home to Boreham Wood. We'll have a reporter at that one for you this evening. Women's Six Nations, Ireland, England, kicked off at 2:15. Claire Thomas.
It's half-time here in Cork, and table-toppers England have now put 5 tries on 5th-placed Ireland. They've the bonus point in the bag, but will be concerned by the injuries sustained by destructive prop Hannah Bottoman and captain Marley Packer. They can cope without them today against a struggling Irish outfit, but there's a potential Grand Slam decider up against France next week at Twickenham. They will want all their stars available. Half-time in this one, England 27, Ireland 0.
Leicester 0, Wolves 0 here in the Premier League. Leicester with some defending to do. Sarabia, clever little ball into the inside left channel. There's Cunha. Cunha, plays it back to Sarabia. Oh, hits that well with his left foot, but wide of the target. And it's behind for a goal kick. More Rugby Union Gallagher Premiership this afternoon. Chris Jones is watching Harlequins against Bath.
Couple of early tries, Ali. Harlequin 7, Bath 7. Bath started well, scored the game's first try. Tom Dunn at the bottom of a ball, beautifully converted by Ben Spencer. But Quinn's hit back, enterprising build-up, good hands down the left. Caden Murley scooting in, 14th Prem try of the season for Murley. That takes him clear at the top of the charts. Harlequin 7, Bath 7 after 9.
Thank you, Chris. Walsall 0, Salford 1. 10 minutes gone here. Mark Schwarzer, what are you making of it?
Well, we've just gone for a little bit of a lull in the game. Neither side really have penetrated each other. You can see Leicester at times there's a little bit of frustration and a little bit stretched. They're trying to find that longer pass to Jamie Vardy. Sometimes the service hasn't been great. Sometimes his touch has let him down. So it's a little bit of frustration at the moment.
Diego Costa charging forward down the right. Victor Christensen slides in and robs him. League 2, Wimbledon 1, Swindon 0. Big game for Morecambe in their battle against relegation. Details on this goal coming shortly, but Morecambe have scored it at the Valley. Charlton 0, Morecambe 1. Mike Williams will be able to bring us the details of that goal soon. This is still Leicester 0, Wolves 0. Wolves enjoying a good little spell. Joao Gomez, 30 yards from goal. Little flick from Cunha, looking for the 1-2 with Costa. Joao Gomez tries to win it again. Costa slides in on Tielemans, catches Tielemans. And that is a free kick for Leicester on the edge of their own penalty area. Lincoln 1 up at Wickham in League 1 as well. That automatic promotion race in League 1. Plymouth 89 points, Ipswich 88, Sheffield Wednesday having played a game more on 87, and Barnsley on 82. It's Barnsley-Ipswich on Tuesday. Mike Williams with details of the Morecambe goal at the Valley. Mike.
An absolute screamer from Cole Stockton. He got the winner 7 days ago against Wickham in the 89th minute. It took just 8 here at the Valley. He let fly after finding the ball in some space. It flew past the Charlton keeper. Only 100 or so fans have made the journey down from Lancashire. They're in absolute raptures. It's Charlton 0, Morecambe 1.
11 minutes gone here at the King Power Stadium. Leicester 0, Wolves 0. Close-up shot of John Terry. I saw him and Diego Costa in a big embrace ahead of the game. Former teammates and title winners at Chelsea, of course.
Yeah, obviously a massive player for both players, massive players for Chelsea. Obviously one an absolute legend, another one who was a big part of winning the Premier League title, Diego Costa, and a real character. Took a little bit surprised it's taking him this long to get his first Premier League goal last week.
He's at it here, battling with Wout Faes. Felt he was fouled. Leicester have lost it. Tielemans tackled. Here's Cunha. Cunha shoots and scores. Trouble for Leicester. They're a goal behind just 12 minutes in. They gave the ball away on the edge of the box. The shot is driven in by Mateusz Cunha. It's Leicester 0, Wolves 1.
Yeah, it's crazy playing out of the back there. I think it was Wout Faes just plays a really sort of misdirected pass towards Tielemans. Too much pace in it, and just out of reach. Tielemans manages to get a toe on the ball and then quickly dispossessed of the ball, and then Wolves pounce. That's a really good finish. Very difficult for Daniel Everson to see it. Comes in behind Faes and it rockets into the back of the net.
No James Maddison, no Harvey Barnes, and a goal behind early on. Leicester at home against Wolves. Just watching the replay of the goal here. Pass playing into Tielemans, as Mark said. He was robbed of the ball, and it's a lightning strike that beats Everson low to his right.
I'll take it back. The ball from Faes is actually not that bad. It's Tielemans' really poor touch, and lets him down, and it's right in the path of a Wolves player who pounces on it. It was Lamina, and he's passed straight to Cunha, and Cunha smashes it home.
Yeovil 0, Oldham 1 in the National League. Mansfield 1, Stevenage 0, latest in League 2. Mateusz Cunha, the Brazilian, on loan from Atletico Madrid. Only his second goal for Wolves in 16 appearances, but that is what you want, your goal scorers finding the back of the net at the right time for you. Diego Costa did it last week. Mateusz Cunha has done it this week. So plenty for Dean Smith to ponder. Northampton 1, Harrogate 1. So Northampton back level can clinch a playoff place in League 2 with a win today. David Norman Jr. Has scored the equaliser for Northampton. Victor Christensen with his bright blonde hair, centre parting, socks rolled down, number 16 on his back for Leicester. Sneaking a few yards up the left-hand touchline. Jamie Vardy appealing vociferously for handball against Craig Dawson after he flicked the ball on. A lot of space again for Wolves to work with. Tete has slipped. Totti's gone gliding past him. Totti then plays a nice pass, which is left by Sarabia for Costa. Costa tackled by Tielemans on the edge of the area. Soyuncu tries to help out. Soyuncu then gets a good challenge in on Totti. Tete is back there. Wout Faes just side foots a ball back to Everson. Everson clears with his right foot, and Patson Daka goes down, well, I thought quite easily on the halfway line, but referee Andy Madley says free kick for Leicester.
No, it's a clear foul. Semedo there, you could see the minute the ball's played over, he knows he doesn't want to make the chase with Iheanacho, and he just turns and just basically body checks him, doesn't look at the ball, and the referee's absolutely spot on with that free kick. And I think Iheanacho's got maybe a dead leg or something, and he's still lying on the ground getting some treatment.
Gives me time to give you news of a couple of other goals that have gone in League 2 early on in these 3 o'clock kickoffs this afternoon. Doncaster leading Newport by 1-0. Colchester 0, Sutton 1. A couple of kickoffs in the Premier League tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Choice of listening for you. So we've got On 5 Live, Newcastle against Tottenham, as those two battle for Champions League football next season on Sports Extra. Bournemouth against West Ham. Those two separated by only 2 points and not clear of danger just yet. Wigan trying to avoid relegation from the Championship. There's been a goal at the DW Stadium. Shojo Saka.
Wigan 1, Millwall 0. Bottom of the table, Wigan have the lead through Will Keane. He scored in midweek, he scored today. A lovely cross from Callum Lang from the right hand side. A win maybe not good enough for Wigan today, but they're giving it a good fight. Wigan 1, Millwall 0.
Cheltenham leading Forest Green by 1-0 in League 1, and Gillingham 1-0 up away to Bradford. We're back underway here. Leicester 0, Wolves 1. 7 games remaining in this Premier League season, and Leicester look like they are in big trouble now in the race for those automatic promotion spots in League 1. Goal in the game between Plymouth and Cambridge, John Akers.
And it's come for the home side. Argyle 1, Cambridge 0. Callum Wright, who scored the winner in the week. First touch is ridiculously good, as is the finish. Argyle 1, Cambridge 0.
João Gomez on the ball for Wolves, in control of this game at the moment. Mario Lemina plays to his left, looks for the 1-2 with Totti. Wolves have lost it. Tielemans looks up and thinks about trying to release a runner early. Couldn't get Iheanacho away. Now Totti's dragging him back by the left arm, and Tielemans just couldn't wrestle his way free, so he's won the free kick.
Yeah, a little bit of frustration there from the Leicester fans. Tielemans on the ball, looked up, was looking for a run, didn't play the ball, and nearly gets dispossessed, but luckily gets a free kick.
Cardiff Stoke, there's been a goal. Laura Kenyon.
It's Cardiff 0, Stoke 1. Worst possible start for relegation-threatened Cardiff City. Josh Laurent glancing header from a corner, caught it beautifully, and it's Cardiff 0, Stoke 1.
Soyuncu's ball out to the left-hand side, finds Christensen. Christensen brings it under control, manages to get it back to Daka, back on his feet. Plays to Soyuncu. Soyuncu on the halfway line, and Leicester switching play from left to right. They find themselves a goal down at home to Wolves. Wimbledon 1, Swindon 1. Latest in League 2. Equaliser for Swindon from the penalty spot. Here's Tete. Clever little ball into the feet of Castagna, and the cross is behind Jamie Vardy. And Vardy had made the run to the near post. There was no one making the run in the middle behind him.
Now Daka's made that run to the far post, and unfortunately it's just the wrong run. There was that opportunity running in behind Vardy there, and it would have been a simple tap-in.
Tielemans. Lofted ball down the right. Tete has won the free kick. Goes tumbling down under the challenge from Totti, and immediately the assistant referee waving his flag in the air. He's got a whole host of thousands of Wolves fans in the away end behind him who certainly don't agree with that decision. Bristol City lead Rotherham by 1-0 in the Championship. Peterborough Ipswich, Aaron Paul.
Peterborough 0, Ipswich 1. Big goal for Kieran McKenna's side, and it's come from Wes Burns. The initial shot off the left, really parried away well by Will Norris into Burns at an acute angle, who managed to lash the ball home. That could be a huge goal at the summit of League 1. Peterborough 0, Ipswich 1.
Top two both ahead then. Plymouth ahead at home, Ipswich ahead. Tielemans, free kick straight into the hands of Jose Sarr, and Notts County doing what they need to do at the moment in the National League this afternoon. Now 2-0 up away to Maidstone. So that would mean if Wrexham want to go up today and not leave it until the last weekend of the season next weekend, they will have to beat Boreham Wood in a 6:30 kick-off. Dundee United 1, Livingston 0 in the Scottish Premiership. Our featured game in the Scottish Premiership this afternoon, Celtic Motherwell. Rangers away to Aberdeen tomorrow. Cunha, the goal scorer, finds Sarabia for Wolves. He's just outside the penalty area. The cross hits the chest of Soyuncu and Wolves have a corner. They lead 1-0. Mark Schwarzer.
Yeah, you can just see how down in confidence Leicester are. Again, they get themselves in a bit of bother there. Christensen this time just bad control of the ball, loses the possession, and then puts Leicester immediately under pressure, and they scramble. In the end, Sunjay does enough to make the block, but they concede it a corner.
Wolves taking their time over the corner. Joao Gomez comes jogging towards the corner flag. He's in conversation with Pablo Sarabia. The Leicester fans feel this is a bit of gamesmanship and time wasting. Obviously then the ball needs respotting. Then it's taken short to Sarabia. Sarabia crosses in with his left foot from the right. It's deep to the far post beyond everyone, and it remains Leicester 0, Wolves 1. Back to Brentford Villa, Katie Smith.
Yes, Brentford 0, Villa 0. Brentford should be ahead though. Janelt with the ball on the left hand side of the area, crossed to Mbeumo, had an open goal at the far post, but a last ditch tackle from Moreno sorts it out for Villa at the back. They have 5 wins in a row, looking for a 6th. Brentford without a win in 5, 0-0.
Swindon now 2-1 up at Wimbledon, having been a goal behind. Jacob Wakeling with their second. Barrow 0, Carlisle 1 in League 2, and Kilmarnock 1 up at St Mirren in the Scottish Premiership. We played 20 minutes here at the King Power Stadium, and Wolves have the lead and have possession at the moment. Kilman closed down by Tete. Tete continues the pressure by running at Totti, so it comes back to goalkeeper Jose Sarr. Wolves win today would take them to 37 points, which as things stand at the moment would take them 10 points clear of the bottom 3, and you're starting to get towards a number that you think would probably be safe. They do have some tough games in the run-in. Palace at home next Tuesday, then they've got to go to Brighton in great form, then they've got Villa coming to them, Villa in great form, away to Manchester United, at home against Everton, and away to Arsenal. So they want the points on the board as soon as they can. Here are Wolves coming forward again. Cunha finds Costa. Costa plays back to Mateusz to Lemina. Lemina into the feet of Sarabia. Sarabia is able to hold on to it, plays back to the halfway line. Ladies from Selhurst Park, Lee Blakeman.
Game really. Jordan Ayew's just headed a Michael Olise free kick over the crossbar. Down the other end, Dominic Calvert-Lewin's gone close with a flicked header. Palace 0, Everton 0.
Thank you, Lee. So Palace 0, Everton 0, Brentford 0, Villa 0, Liverpool 0, Nottingham Forest 0. Only goal in the 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League has come here. Leicester still have plenty of time in the game to get themselves back into it. And there's Tete, who speeds into view to make a good interception and play a really good pass forward to Iheanacho. Iheanacho was about to pass it, and he's clipped. He's caught by Nelson Semedo. Free kick Leicester, just under 30 yards out.
Yeah, you can see there, Yuri Tielemans is calling for a yellow card on Semedo, and I have to agree with him. Semedo's was the first block on Daka there. It was a blatant block to try and slow the play down. This is another one where it's not a bad foul, but it's a blatant slowing the run down of the game, and it should have been a yellow card for him.
Too far out for a strike on goal. Obviously the man they would love over these set pieces, not available today, James Maddison. They'll desperately hope he's fit and firing for Leeds away on Tuesday. Got to do it without him today. Midway through the first half, 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Leicester 0, Wolves 1. Commentary of the first FA Cup semi-final to come after this. Yuri Tielemans with the free kick. Dawson's there, heads it away. Controlled by Tete, hits the shot on the bounce. Cunha rushes in and blocks it. The ball spins off him and goes all the way into the Leicester half. Victor Christensen is able to just calmly pass it back to his goalkeeper, Daniel Everson. Colchester 1, Sutton 1. Latest in League 2. Everson plays it to the orange boots of Timothy Castagna, to Samare. Samare's in that central midfield role in place of Ndidi. Not the best clearance from Everson, and actually Mateus Nunez, rather than take that on the chest and try and get away down the right, just let it go and out for a throw into Wolves.
Yeah, I think he did the right thing. It was a high risk involved in terms of whether or not he would be able to control the ball, and instead lets it go out, slows things down a little bit. Wolves can get players forward and they can calm the game down a bit.
In terms of the race for the playoff spots in the Championship, currently 3 points between Millwall in 5th and Preston in 11th at the start of the day. Norwich involved in that race. They're behind at home against Swansea. Norwich 0, Swansea 1. Port Vale lead Bristol Rovers by a 1-0 in League One. Sumare, has he played that too far ahead of Tete? Yes, he has. Totti intercepts. Clever flick from Cunha. Finds Mateus Nunes. Nunes into the feet of Cunha again. Shot from the angle. That's well blocked. Ball spins loose inside the penalty area. Soyuncu got there just in time. Got a really important touch on the ball. And Tielemans just rifles it downfield but can't find Jamie Vardy. Knocks it straight out of play for a throw-in to Wolves.
Yeah, at the moment, a little bit disappointing so far in this game. First 25 minutes or so, Yuri Tielemans hasn't really been on his game. That touch that let himself down, that led to Wolves scoring the goal. There's a couple of times he got caught in possession. There, another wayward pass.
Wolves have taken their throw. Diego Costa's on the ball for them with his back to goal, and he's won Wolves another throw midway inside the Leicester half on the left, leading Leicester by 1-0. Throw is taken. Totti evades the challenge of Tete. Eventually loses it to Fass. Sarabia plays it across to Cunha. Cunha finds Mateus Nunes. In support is Semedo on the right-hand side. Tries to knock it past Christensen to try and get the cross in. Christensen makes the tackle. And it goes out for, was that corner or throw-in to Wolves?
It's a corner for Wolves. Yeah, you can just see Wolves are playing with a lot more self-confidence. You know, these last couple of wins have been huge for them. They've got a breathing space between themselves and those relegation positions, and they're managing the game so far very well.
Leicester's position in the Premier League under real threat. This is their 9th season since promotion in 2014 under Nigel Pearson. As the corner comes in from Sarabia. Good header away from Sumare. Of course, they won the title. Mark was here a couple of years later, just 7 years ago. Sarabia's in on the right-hand side. Sarabia with the left-footed shot. Soyuncu blocks. Dawson's shot deflected heavily and goes behind for a corner to Wolves, who are leading by 1-0. Let's get an update from the Racing at Ayr. Here's Darren Owen.
Yeah, it's not on the Racing, sadly. Similar scenes to Aintree last week. We have a few protesters on the course. The authorities are on top of the situation. I saw at least 4 protesters on the hurdles track. They have now been removed.
OK, thank you, Darren. Scottish National due to go at 3:35 this afternoon. Hull lead Watford by 1-0 in the Championship. Corner for Wolves, away swinger. Good pace and zip on that. Fast heads it away. Second header from Tete. Wolves are there first, playing the ball back to Semedo. Goal at Celtic Park, ready for Scythe.
Motherwell took their first corner kick after only 40 seconds. That seems a long memory ago, because Celtic are now in the lead. Captain Callum McGregor with a wickedly deflected shot from the edge of the box. Celtic 1, Motherwell 0.
Yeah, that'll put the pressure on Rangers tomorrow. They're away to Aberdeen. Celtic, if they win that game, will be 15 points ahead. They'll have 5 games to play. Rangers will have 6 games to go. Northampton now in front against Harrogate, leading by 2-1. If they win the game, then they're definitely in the League Two playoffs this season. St Johnstone 1, Hibs 0 in the Scottish Premiership. Try in the game between Harlequins and Bath. Chris Jones.
Another classic Harlequins try. Harlequins 14, Bath 10. Quins attacking coast to coast. Luke Wallace going over in the same left-hand corner as Merle Smith. Added the 2. Harlequins 14, Bath 10. 15 minutes to the break.
All the tries, all the goals. That's the way it works on 5 Live and BBC Sounds on a Saturday afternoon. Soyuncu plays the ball out from the back to Christensen, closed down quickly, and his clearance is blocked. Diego Costa just takes a little bit too long. Sumare nips in and wins it. That's a nice ball from Iheanacho. Down the left to Daka. Turn from him, but Mateus Nunes is back in to take it off him. I was told before the game it's either Mateus or you've got to go with the full Mateus Nunes. He's not just a Nunes. This is Cunha. That's a Mateus Cunha, and he's looking for Diego Costa, but you can call him Cunha. It's very confusing, Mark, but important to get it right.
But I believe you.
Yeah, and you can be Mark or Schwarzer.
Mark, please.
Goal kick for Leicester. We are 2 minutes short of the half-hour mark here, and they're in trouble again. Tielemans plays back to Soyuncu. Soyuncu looks up and decides to go long. Daka sprinting down the left. Semedo's got it covered. Flicks the header out of play. That'll be a throw-in, and Christensen comes sprinting up the touchline with that blonde hair flowing, bright red cheeks, and throws the ball in to Iheanacho. Iheanacho back to Christensen. Midway inside the Wolves half on the left. Sumare's dribbled into trouble. There's Cunha. He's lost it to Tielemans. He's overrun it. Tielemans then blocks the clearance from João Gomez, and Dawson just nicks it round Jamie Vardy, plays back to Jose Sarr, out to Kilman under pressure on the edge of the box, has Dawson in support, and Dawson then has time to clear with his right foot, and Soyuncu heads it back into the Wolves half. Tielemans has lost out. Joao Gomez tries to get Wolves moving forward. Here's Mateusz on the turn on the halfway line and across to Kilman.
Yeah, at the moment Leicester are just almost like second best to just about every challenge. They are chasing shadows at the moment. They're still in it. They're hanging in there without too many real clear-cut chances from Wolves. But it seems like they're on a knife edge at the moment. This could easily go for Wolves comfortably if they're not careful.
Yeah, Wolves looking the better team, and as Mark was saying, the more confident team, and you completely understand that given their recent form and Leicester's recent form. Building another nice move here, the visitors. Semedo might get this on the right-hand side by the byline, crosses in, and Christensen blocks it. But the patterns are there, Mark. The rhythm is there for Wolves. You can just sense it, can't you?
They are. The movement's there, the confidence on the ball. They really are clear in the way they want to play. With Leicester, at times they're playing out at the back, they're unsure, they're playing at times when they shouldn't be playing, they're bang under pressure. That first touch is letting them down, and they're playing themselves off more often than not in trouble themselves.
Goal at Cardiff, Laura Kenyon.
It's Cardiff 1, Stoke 1. The equaliser from Sorry Kaba. Defensive mistake, pounced on and rolled past Jack Bonham in the Stoke goal. It's Cardiff 1, Stoke 1.
Sarabia's deep corner to the edge of the penalty area, controlled by Mateusz. He then turns, tries to shake off the attentions of Castagna. Castagna sticks with him and makes the tackle, then loses it. Everson's going to come for that cross into his 6-yard box and claims it well against Totti. Sprints to the edge of his area, clears with his right foot. Iheanacho waiting for that to drop. It just wouldn't do so in time. It was Diego Costa back there having him covered and heading it forward.
He's currently playing at left back. I've never seen Diego Costa play in that position. No, very good from Costa. He's made that run all the way back, and he's the one that made that defensive saving header.
A mean left back. That's a mean figure. Colchester 2, Sutton 1 in League 2. Sumare trying to break up play on the halfway line. Didn't quite have the strength to win the challenge. Semedo plays it to his right to Sarabia. Sarabia in his turquoise boots. Across to Mario Lemina, one of the January signings from Nice, former Juventus midfielder. A few years at Southampton on loan at Fulham as well. Now Craig Dawson, another hugely experienced Premier League performer who joined the club in January. Port Vale have a second against Bristol Rovers. Last we heard, Wigan were leading Millwall by 1-0, but there's been another goal. Shojo Saka.
It's now Wigan 1, Millwall 1. It was Tom Bradshaw with some work down the left, and he crossed for George Saville to slot home. As it stands, with QPR drawing against Burnley, this is going to send Wigan down unless things change. It's Wigan 1, Millwall 1.
Cunha sliding the ball through. Mateusz can't control it for Wolves, and it goes through for a goal kick to Leicester. Leicester 0, Wolves 1. 32 minutes played in the first half.
Yeah, very close. Cunha's just slightly overhit that. Mateusz was making that run into the box, and it's just that half a yard in front of him. Otherwise, Leicester could have been in trouble again.
Another goal at Plymouth. Is it for Plymouth? John Akers.
Equaliser for Cambridge, who are down at the bottom fighting for their lives. Plymouth have just taken their foot off the gas. It's a cross from the left, flicked on. Really good header from Sam Smith. Plymouth 1, Cambridge 1.
Ipswich 1 up at Peterborough. Sheffield Wednesday and Exeter level, and the same for Barnsley, Oxford. Those games both 0-0. Also in League 1, Cheltenham lead Forest Green, already down. Forest Green, of course, by 2-0. Leicester giving Nelson Semedo the hurry up with the throw-in. It's in an attacking position. Here's the big burly bearded centre forward Costa trying to hold off Christensen. Cunha looking for the 1-2 with Joao Gomez. Soyuncu with a flying intervention clears up towards Vardy, who's had very little action so far for Leicester this afternoon. Knocked off the ball here. Totti drives it with his left foot across field. So from left back to right wing now, Diego Costa dummies the cross, edge of the area. Plays the ball into the feet of Cunha, goes tumbling down off the ball. Referee saw that quite clearly. Costa's down, arms wide out, appealing for a penalty. Wolves continue to attack. Costa back on his feet. Joao Gomez with the cutback. Very nearly found Nelson Semedo. But now it might open up for Leicester on the counter. And you can hear their fans roaring their team forward. Iheanacho with the ball at his left feet, looking for the run of Vardy. Sarr's come off his line. Vardy's rounded penalty. He's definitely caught Jamie Vardy. He's fallen into the trap. Jamie Vardy's down hurt, but Leicester do have a penalty. And the question now is, will Vardy be fit enough to take it? Will it be Iheanacho? Will it be Tielemans? It's a massive moment in the game.
Yeah, absolutely huge moment there. As the ball gets played there, you can see Sarr comes out, but he actually stops. He tries to stop his run, and as he tries to pull his leg away, the momentum takes him through Vardy. Oh, it's 100% a penalty, but unfortunately for Leicester, Vardy looks like he's in a lot of pain.
Yeah, he really does actually. He was holding his right leg, and as soon as he went down, he's writhing around on his back in agony at the moment and being attended to by a couple of the medical staff. So that is a concern in itself. St Johnstone 1, Hibs 1 in the Scottish Premiership, and Swindon now 3-1 up away to Wimbledon. Luke Jeffcott has 2 of those goals, so there's going to be a delay before the penalty.
Yeah, you can see it on the replay. Sarr actually comes out. As he comes out, he actually treads. He steps on Vardy's ankle or his side of his foot, and he may have twisted his ankle. It doesn't look great for him at the moment. I'd be very surprised if he gets up and takes the penalty anyway.
Yeah. Who's got the ball? It's Iheanacho, isn't it? I think has got the ball under his arm. It's interesting because Tielemans is normally the penalty taker in the absence of Jamie Vardy, but I was just looking at his record this morning ahead of the game. He has scored 1 this season in the 6-2 defeat at Tottenham, but he's missed a couple as well. So Iheanacho's the one who's got the ball under his arm at the moment. But actually, the way things work now, quite often the fella holding the ball isn't the fella who takes the penalty, because they're worried that the opposition are going to get round them and get in his ear. But Tielemans actually has just given Iheanacho a slap on the back of the head and say, it's yours.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. You look at that record of Tielemans, he's not really confident at the moment in this game. He's had a couple of moments that haven't gone quite his way. So I would assume that if Vardy's not fit enough, which I don't think he will be, to take the penalty at the very least, Iheanacho will be the one that takes it.
Tranmere 1, Grimsby 0. Latest scoreline in League 2. Liverpool 0, Nottingham Forest 0. Palace 0, Everton 0. Brentford 0, Villa 0. Leicester with the chance of an equaliser to come shortly. Vardy back on his feet, but he's bent double. Oh, he's really hobbling, hands on his knees. He really does look in some pain, and he's not one to make out he's in pain when he's not, basically, is what I'm trying to say. He's a tough fella, is Jamie Vardy. Won the penalty brilliantly. Pass was perfect to him, saw Sarr coming, took it round him and knew the contact was coming. Right, here we go. Big moment for Kelechi Iheanacho. First start in 6 Premier League games for him. Jose Sarr wants to delay him by just leaning casually on his left-hand post. Now he's in the middle of his goal. This the chance for an equaliser. Leicester sitting in the bottom 3, can't afford to pass up opportunities like this. Normally a fabulous finisher with this left foot, Kelechi Iheanacho. Deep breaths, runs at the ball, delays and strokes it in. Sends Jose Sarr the wrong way. Pressure penalty, brilliantly taken, and Leicester are back in it. Leicester 1, Wolves 1, and Jamie Vardy wants back in the game.
Yeah, he's given a thumbs up, saying he's still fit to come on the pitch. I mean, he is hobbling. Be interested to see how long he lasts on this pitch. But yeah, really cool and calm finish from Iheanacho. Sends Sarr the wrong way. Very, very good penalty under a lot of pressure.
Jamie Vardy back on, celebrates with the goal scorer Kelechi Iheanacho. Brentford Villa, Katie Smith.
It's still 0-0 here, but another huge opportunity for Brentford on the counter-attack this time. Point blank, Ivan Toney. Martinez keeps it out, does the splits on the way down, loses the ball. Toney couldn't get back to it. 0-0.
Kilmarnock 2-0 up at St Mirren in the Scottish Premiership. Very different sound inside this stadium now. Coventry Reading in the Championship. Chris Coles.
There's a loud noise inside this stadium as well, Ali. Coventry in front, a big goal for them as they look to strengthen their playoff credentials. Matty Godden with it. Terrific swivel finish from 6 yards. Reading's relegation worries deepen. Coventry 1, Reading 0.
Yeah, that one matters at both ends of the table. 8 minutes remaining in the first half here. Mark Schwarzer.
We see it so often, don't we, in teams where there are moments in games that swing momentum. Last week we saw with Leicester City at half-time come after that break was what they needed. They came back out in the second half and they were a different side. This penalty now that they've got and they scored could be the moment the game swings.
Another incident in the game here. Chalor Soyuncu is down holding his face. Diego Costa was the player who made the challenge. Wout Faes complaining, and Diego Costa, he's always the pantomime villain just wagging his finger and saying, I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, the referee's checking it. He's saying he's waiting for information about from the VAR how the challenge was. He will see it here in our replay now. Yeah, I don't think
it's a stray finger, isn't it? That's poked him in the eye, I think.
Yeah.
Anfield next. Liverpool, Nottingham Forest. Conor McNamara.
Still Liverpool 0, Nottingham Forest 0. Liverpool dominating, though Diogo Jota had a header just now into the side netting. Van Dijk with a close range header tipped over the bar by Keylor Navas. Former Liverpool player Nico Williams has made a goal line clearance to deny Gakpo, but Forest defence just about hanging on. Liverpool 0, Nottingham Forest 0.
Cheltenham have a third at home against Forest Green. Cheltenham 3, Forest Green 0. Shot in from range from Iheanacho. That was optimistic. Not going to beat Jose Sarr from there. Lemina's down hurt. Breaking play here. They're underway in the Scottish Grand National at Ayr. Darren Owen.
National, they've just jumped the third of 27 fences. Lord Accord is one of those out in front, along with under supervision.
Thank you, Darren. Back with you in a little while. Leicester fans buoyant at the moment. Need the win, not really a draw, but they're back in the game. Leicester 1, Wolves 1. They've given the ball back to Wolves. Lemina's picked himself up from the injury. Wolves had possession before that, so Leicester have done the decent thing. Sun shining in Leicester here. Commentary of Manchester City, Sheffield United in the first FA Cup semi-final on the way here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds from 4:45 kick-off this afternoon. Second semi-final, 4:30 tomorrow. Full commentary on that as well. That's Brighton against Manchester United. Tielemans 30 yards out, couldn't quite find Iheanacho, wants to win it back. João Gomez takes it away from him. Tielemans desperately chasing. You think he's about to make a foul there, and he didn't quite do it. Lemina, nice work in a tight space. That is a foul this time from Tielemans. Lemina goes down, and that will be a free kick for Wolves. Swansea have a second at Norwich. Norwich 0, Swansea 2. Burnley could win the title today at Turf Moor. They're at home against QPR. John Bennett.
At the moment they're being frustrated. It's 0-0. It's all Burnley, but QPR defending bravely. Benson and Barnes denied by the post and a couple of goal mouth clearances as well. It's Burnley 0, QPR 0.
5 minutes remaining in the first half here. João Gomez down and in some pain. Andy Madley blows the whistle. Leicester were on the attack. It was a delayed decision to give the free kick and seemed to come about a little bit because Julen Lopetegui was leaping around and complaining on the halfway line, and a couple of the Leicester backroom team have lost it.
No, Jamie Vardy's giving the fourth official a bit of his discontent because he's the one that's given the decision. The referee, Bobby Madley's allowed play to play on. It's the fourth official who's told him that it's a foul. I don't think it's a foul. We'll see it again on our replay as Jamie Vardy goes in. It's not a foul. There's no way in the world that is a foul. That should be play on.
Yep, well spotted, Mark Schwarzer. 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Leicester 1, Wolves 1, and so far we seem to have picked the right 3 o'clock kickoff, don't we? Because no goals elsewhere in the 3 o'clock, so we can, at the moment, we can feel rightly smug about that. Fulham 2, Leeds 1 was a result from earlier on today in the Premier League, which keeps Leeds down in the doldrums. Lee Blakeman's looking for a goal at Selhurst Park. Lee.
Nearly found one. Palace 0, Everton 0. Cross headed away. Fell for Iwobi, 22 yards out. Great strike. Brilliant save though by Johnston. Low down to his right. Palace 0, Everton 0.
Big game at the bottom of League 2. 22nd against 23rd is Hartlepool against Crawley. There's been a goal, Andy Sixsmith.
And a big goal for Crawley Town, who lead Hartlepool United 1-0. Cross from the left, stood up to the back stick, header back across goal, and there was top scorer Dom Telford to dispatch a header into the net. 1-0 Crawley.
Totti's been booked here for Wolves for dragging Yuri Tielemans back, and when that decision was made, you might well have just heard the ironic applause in the background here at Leicester. Leicester fans feeling decisions have been going against them. Getting back into this game. Daka's won them a throw on the left, taken quickly by Christensen. Here's Iheanacho, got Tielemans to his right if you can see him. Lemina's in to make the challenge. Iheanacho just too slow in getting that pass away. Samare, free kick. Samare made the challenge on Sarabia. The ball ran to Iheanacho. Leicester thought they were in. There's 2 Wolves players down, Lemina and Sarabia.
I think it's a foul against Castagna. I think he actually does commit the foul. Unfortunately for Leicester on this occasion, I think the referee did get this one right.
Norwich are now down to 10 men at home against Swansea, 2-0 down. Sam McCallum has been sent off. Chris Jones watching Harlequins, Bath in the Gallagher Premiership.
Couple of minutes to half-time. Ali Harlequins 21, Bath 17. Bath regained the lead when GJ Van Beltzer borrowed over, but Quins have scored their third try. A very popular score for this big Twickenham crowd. Joe Marchand with the break, Marcus Smith with the finish. Almost to half-time. Harlequins 21, Bath 17.
Here at the King Power Stadium, Dean Smith and Craig Shakespeare, one of his backroom staff, deep in conversation. Both Wolves players back on their feet and okay. Diego Costa getting instructions from Lopetegui. Off he trots. Free kick for Wolves coming. Update on the Scottish national from Ayr, Darren Owen.
Yeah, they've just jumped the 17th fence of the 27. They've got a mile and a half still to go. All the runners are still standing, and the running is being made by man of the people.
Closing in on half-time here at Leicester. 1-1 against Wolves. Soyuncu leaps and powerfully heads the ball away. Dawson returns it with interest with his right foot. Christensen wins the next header. Cunha's header to his right. Semedo just keeps it in under the nose of Dean Smith, and Wolves play back into their own half. All the Premier League highlights, match of the day tonight. 10:20 on BBC One. Football Daily podcast there for you as always. Tomorrow morning available via the BBC Sounds app. Here's Nelson Semedo. Plays wide to Mateus Nunes. Nunes stops in his tracks, cuts infield, runs away from Daka. Daka clumsily runs through the back of him. Wolves get the free kick.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he just sort of runs straight through him, bulldozes him over. I mean, it's a nothing foul, but it is a foul, and the referee does give it to Wolves.
Fleetwood 1, MK Dons 0. Goal just before half-time in League One. MK Dons, one of those teams down there, involved in that relegation battle, and Colchester now leads Sutton by 3-1. 4 minutes of added time at the end of the first half here. Some of the fans have decided that is the time to go and beat the queues and get the refreshment. Joao Gomez with the free kick. Tielemans heads it away. Volleyed back by Sarabia. Soyuncu wins the next header. Flicked on by Tete. No one there to collect it for Leicester. Back to Lamina. Lamina chips the ball over the top. Chased down to the byline by Maximilian Kilman, and then he wants to get back in position, so tries to delay Leicester from taking the goal kick, but he's had the ball nicked off him, and Daniel Everson is getting ready to go. We're set for a cracking second half at the moment, aren't we, Mark? So much riding on the game.
Yeah, we are, and it's something. Obviously, the penalty, the goal itself has changed the game for Leicester. They've certainly got more spring in their step, and they've gained confidence from that moment.
Daniel Everson's cleared the ball straight out of play. Lopetegui caught it. Wolves are taking the quick throw, and Semedo finds Mateus. Samari half makes the tackle. It runs to Sarabia. Fancies a shot. Hits it well, but over the crossbar behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, just a little bit fortunate there, Leicester, dropping off a little bit as Wolves start to take the attack. Has a shot at goal. Luckily for them, it just flies over the crossbar.
Back to Ayr. Who's going to win the Scottish National? Darren Owen.
3 fences left to jump, and the new leader is Magnus Sam from Lord Accord in second place. Kitty's Light, last year's runner-up, is in there pitching as well. As they head down towards the second last fence, it's Magnus Sam, Kitty's Light, flash to Toussaint, and on the wide outside beginning to run on is Cooper's Cross as they head down towards the last, and Kitty's Light will take over, makes a mistake at the final fence but gets away with it, and it's Kitty's Light here for the Bridgend base. Christian Williams, a runner-up last year. Christian won the race last year. Kitty's Light has taken it. Kitty's Light wins the Scottish National. Cooper's Cross second, Flash to Toussaint third, and back in fourth, 3 under through 5.
Thank you, Darren. Late Leicester attacking at the end of the first half here at the King Power Stadium. Patson Daka was almost in behind that Wolves defence on the left-hand side. Leicester have switched it to the right. They've got themselves back in this game through the Iheanacho penalty, and here they come again. Samare with the outside of his right foot finds Iheanacho. Iheanacho coming in from the right-hand side, lines up the shot. Oh, hits the corner. Sarr saves. Daka on the rebound. That's blocked as well. Daka goes down. Leicester thought they got themselves in front. Sarr at full stretch made the first save and just got enough of himself in the way to stop Daka knocking in the rebound.
Yeah, he got away with it, Sarr there. I think it was he was either trying to, he knew he wasn't going to hold the ball, he was not going to parry it, then he decided to just parry it in close proximity. I don't think he saw Patson Daka at the far post, and it was very, very close for him getting ahead of him.
Leicester fans, Leicester bench up in arms about a challenge from Diego Costa on Chalar Soyuncu. No yellow card, word from Andy Madley. Diego Costa up to his usual tricks. Altrincham 1, Torquay 0. Now that's important in the National League because Torquay in danger of going down. Notts County are up away to Maidstone this afternoon. Wrexham tonight have to match their result to win the title and go up. As Christensen, cross half deflected, Vardy jumps for it, makes a nuisance of himself. Wolves should be able to clear with Semedo. Nice pass wide to Cunha, and Cunha draws the foul from Daka. Daka comes into the back of him, and then Cunha rolling around very dramatically on the floor. Charlton Morecambe, there's been a goal just before half-time. Mike Williams.
Equaliser for the home side. It's Charlton 1, Morecambe 1. Jazz Raksaki getting on the end of a neat bit of 1-2 inside the Morecambe box and equalising for the home side, which deals a real blow to Morecambe's hopes of staying in League One. Charlton 1, Morecambe 1.
Mark Schwarzer, Mike Williams and Morecambe. Mike and Mark. That's not good. That is not good. Leicester 1, Wolves 1. Cunha's okay, so Wolves will have a free kick late in this first half.
Going back to that chance from Iheanacho, that shot to he tries to curl it to the far post. Jose Sa goes across, he actually drops it. He tries to hold on to it, he can't keep control of it, and the save is actually brilliant. The follow save is absolutely brilliant, but it's self-inflicted, but he made amends.
So speaks a former Premier League goalkeeper who played many a game in this league. Mark Schwarzer. Half-time whistle blows. Leicester 1, Wolves 1. Means so much down at the bottom. Wolves off to a fly with the goal from Mateusz Cunha, but Jamie Vardy won the penalty, was hurt in the process. He picked himself back up, but celebrated with the goal scorer Kelechi Iheanacho, who stuck it away very coolly, and we're set for a thrilling, nerve-jangling second half here at the King Power Stadium. Leicester 1, Wolves 1.
Yeah, the only one not feeling the nerves was Kelechi Iheanacho with the coolest of penalties. The half-time whistle's gone at Selhurst Park. Palace Everton, Lee Blakeman.
Palace 0, Everton 0. Poor game on the whole, really, Steve. Everton have created the better of the chances, though. Iwobi and McNeil have both tested Johnston from distance. Calvert-Lewin is forced to save from him too with a tame header. Down the other end, Ayu's headed over, and Elise shot straight at Pickford. Everton looking for just their second Premier League away win of the season. Palace want their 4th straight win. 0-0 at half-time.
Half-time at Brentford, Casey Smith.
Yeah, Brentford 0, Villa 0. Great first half here, though. These two sides cancelling each other out, though. Brentford with the better of the chances across the 45 minutes. Emi Martinez, though, showing his World Cup winning credentials in goal, keeping out Mbermo. Then Tony from pinpoint range. Moreno as well, stopping a Brentford goal with the last-minute sliding clearance. Villa's man in form, Ollie Watkins, hardly had a sniff so far. McGinn with the best of their efforts. Left-footed curler tipped away by Raya. Villa wanting 6 wins in a row here. Goalless at half-time.
Let's get the half-time at Anfield. Conor McNamara. Come in, Conor McNamara.
It's been all one-way traffic for Liverpool, but scoreless at the break. Liverpool threatening with set pieces mainly. Diogo Jota with a header into the side netting. Virgil van Dijk denied by a good point-blank save from Keylor Navas. Former Liverpool defender Nico Williams had to clear off the goal line to deny Cody Gakpo, but Liverpool couldn't get it over that line. At the other end, Forest have really only had one chance. It came from a mistake by Van Dijk. He presented an opportunity to Morgan Gibbs-White, who shot early from distance, and it was a comfortable save from Alisson, but that is all that Forest have been able to offer. Scott McKenna, recently back from injury, had to go off again. Joe Worrell on in his place. Forest holding on for now, but Liverpool will hope this pressure will bring them results in the second half. 0-0 at half-time.
Well, the results at the moment are all 0-0. 4 of them in the Premier League in the 3 o'clocks, all level at the break. Remember, Fulham beat Leeds by 2-1 earlier on. Once we're done with commentary at the King Power, we'll be off to Wembley Stadium for the FA Cup semi-final, Manchester City and Sheffield United. John Murray has the team news.
And the big news is Erling Haaland starts. There's no resting him for an FA Cup semi-final. And Alvarez is also in the team. So 6 changes from Munich for Manchester City. Looks like 4-4-2. Grealish, Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, Mahrez and Walker against his former club are all in the team. Sheffield United have Foderingham back in goal after suspension. There are 2 other changes, Norwood in for Doyle and Jebuson's up front, the 19-year-old, not McBurney who's on the bench. Ahmed Hodzic plays even though the birth of his first child is imminent.
John, thank you very much. So we'll be on the way to Wembley for commentary once we're done at the King Power Stadium. Let's go into the Championship, a game with huge significance at both ends of the table. Half-time, Burnley QPR. John Bennett.
It's 0-0. QPR, battling relegation, will be delighted by this scoreline. They've been completely dominated, but a combination of the bar, goal mouth clearances, courageous defending, is just about keeping Burnley at bay. It was Benson who hit the woodwork. Maatson, Barnes and Cullen had efforts saved off the line. QPR had one effort on goal through Jamal Lowe, but it's all been about staying solid for them. A bit of time wasting too. Burnley just 3 points away from securing the Championship title. Still work to do. Burnley 0, QPR 0.
That means that as it stands, Wigan would be going down this afternoon. Shojo Saka.
Yeah, Wigan 1, Millwall 1. Bottom side Wigan took the lead here through Will Keane, his 12th goal of the season, before playoff chasing Millwall equalised with their first goal attempt. George Saville finishing from close range. So as you say, as things stand with QPR getting a point away at Burnley, Wigan would go down today. Wigan 1, Millwall 1.
Blackpool desperately need a win, but at the moment they're going to live another day. Pat Murphy.
They're hanging on. It's 0-0. They were dreadful early on. Their keeper Grimshaw almost dropped Chong's deflected shot into his own net. He then made a very, very brave punch away from the in-swinging free kick. They came back into it, but Blackpool bowler just over the bar, left foot. They've got room to breathe. They've still got a chance, but they're not playing very well. Birmingham 0, Blackpool 0.
So that's the bottom two. What about third bottom Reading? They've got a huge game, and of course in the playoff picture it's a big one for Coventry City as well. Chris Coles.
No surprises here, Steve. This one going as the league table suggests. Playoff chasing Coventry 1, relegation threatened Reading 0. Coventry's advantage should be much greater. It's been a half of relentless pressure. Their prolific striker Victor Gyökeres wasting 4 excellent chances before the goal did come. A really good finish from Matty Godden, 8 yards out, falling as he hit a bouncing ball but controlled it nicely into the corner. Very little from Reading, and if it stays this way they'll remain in the bottom 3. Coventry heading for 5th. They lead 1-0.
This could be a big goal that's just gone in League 2. It's at Edgeley Park. Stockport, Rochdale, Adam Cottier.
And Stockport, having dominated the first half, have taken the lead in stoppage time at the end of it. Isaac Olafe with a right foot shot inside the area. The keeper got a hand to it. It nestled in the top corner. Rochdale have not had a single shot here today. They're heading out of the Football League as it stands. Stockport 1, Rochdale 0.
Yeah, they need a win, and they're not. They need a favour, and that's not happening either. We'll explain that shortly. Back into the Championship to the Cardiff City Stadium. Laura Kenyon.
Yeah, it's Cardiff 1, Stoke 1. Stoke took the lead. Josh Laurent glancing header from a corner. The Cardiff equaliser then. Sorry, Cabba, one-on-one with the keeper. Picked his spot, 8th of the season for him. Overall, a pretty even game, Steve. Cardiff fate in their own hands. They'll be after more points to put further distance between them and the drop zone. Level at the break, it's 1-1.
Other scores for you. Bristol City, whose season is basically over, lead relegation threatened Rotherham United by a 0-0. It's Hull 1, Watford 0. Norwich, their playoff push looks in very bad shape. They are 2-0 down, and they're down to 10 men at half-time against Swansea. The late game, remember, is Preston versus Blackburn. To the top of League 1, Plymouth Cambridge. John Akers.
Off the top as it stands, Plymouth 1, Cambridge 1. Argyle took the lead. Really nice first touch and finish from Callum Wright in the 15th minute, and then Sam Smith. Only 2 efforts on goal for Cambridge. They scored with one of them, a header after a flick on, open play, cross from the left. It was a nice header back across the goalkeeper. Plymouth have been on top, but need to find a goal if they're to stay top. Plymouth 1, Cambridge 1.
Yeah, as it stands, Ipswich will move above them into first position. Aaron Paul.
Peterborough 0, Ipswich 1. Wes Burns' 8th goal of the season separates these two sides. It was a cracking effort initially from Nathan Broadhead. That was parried away by Will Norris. There was Burns to convert home. Connor Chaplin has gone closest to grabbing a second. He curled a free kick into the arms of the posh keeper Will Norris. At the other end, Ephron Mason-Clark has come so close to grabbing an equaliser with a stunning bicycle kick from a close range. Well saved by Christian Walton in the Ipswich goal, who also produced a flying save from Johnson Clark-Harris as we ticked over to half-time. As you say, Steve, Ipswich remaining second as it stands. They lead Peterborough by a 0-0.
Yeah, no teams can officially go up or down this afternoon in League 1, but Ipswich will be moving on to 91 points, Plymouth to 90, and Sheffield Wednesday would go up to 88 as it stands because they're drawing 0-0 at half-time against Exeter. Other scores, Barnsley are 1-0 up against Oxford Oxford United. It's Bolton 0, Shrewsbury 0. Charlton 1, Morecambe 1. Cheltenham are 3-0 up on Forest Green. It's Derby County 0, Burton 0. Fleetwood 1, MK Dons 0. Port Vale are 2-0 up at half-time against Bristol Rovers. Portsmouth 0, Accrington 0. And Wickham 0, Lincoln 1. Let's go back into League 2. Hartlepool United, that huge game down at the bottom at Crawley. Andy Sixsmith.
Well, it's nervous, nail-biting, but Crawley Town couldn't care because they lead 1-0. Only goal coming deservedly 5 minutes before the break. Top scorer Dom Telford heading in after Aramide Orte had nodded back across goal. Pool's best chance came when Josh Umara cleared his own player's shot off the line. What does it all mean? Crawley effectively safe. Pools could be effectively ending their 2-season stay in the EFL. Huge second half ahead. Hartlepool 0, Crawley 1.
And that result would mean Rochdale would go down regardless, but of course they are trailing in their game against Stockport as well. So at the moment, 2 reasons why that 102-year stay in the Football League will come to an end this afternoon for Rochdale. Up at the top of the league, Leyton Orient have the opportunity to win the league today. They would have to win. They're drawing 0-0 with Crewe and hope that Stevenage don't. Stevenage are losing 1-0 at Mansfield, so Orient needing 1 more goal. Other scores for you: Wimbledon 1, Swindon 3, Barrow 0, Carlisle 1. Bradford City trailed Gillingham by 1-0 at half-time. It's Colchester 3, Sutton United 1, Doncaster 1, Newport County 0, Northampton 3, Harrogate 1, Tranmere 1, Grimsby 0, and Walsall 0, Salford 1. In the National League, Torquay United, trying to stay in the division, trail 1-0 at half-time at Altrincham. The significance of that is they need other results to go their way. As it stands, they would not go down this afternoon. The big game, of course, up at the top, Notts County leading 2-0 at Maidstone. What that would mean is that Wrexham would need to win their game later on against Boreham Wood if they were going to go up this afternoon. Into Scotland, Celtic can't win the title today, but they're pretty much there. Roddy Forsyth.
Motherwell were in control of this game for about 50 seconds, during which time they won a corner kick. Thereafter it's been all Celtic, but the only thing they have to show for it is a goal by Callum McGregor midway through the first half, and even then it was a wicked deflection from Callum Butcher, the Motherwell player, trying to charge the ball down. Otherwise it probably wouldn't have done any damage. But at the moment, as you say, Celtic on course for a title, though not this afternoon quite yet. Celtic 1, Motherwell 0.
The only other thing up for grabs in the Premiership is top 6 places this afternoon. They currently belong to Hibs, who are drawing 1-1 at St Johnstone and St Mirren, despite the fact they're 2-0 down to Kilmarnock. The other score, Dundee United 1, Livingston 0. In the Scottish Championship, Hamilton 1, Partick Thistle 1, Arbroath 0, Cove Rangers 0. It's Inverness 0, Dundee 0, and Morton 1, Wraith 0. Scottish League 1, Adrionians 0, Dunfermline 0, Alloa 0, Falkirk 2, Edinburgh 1-0 down at half-time to Kelty Heart. Peterhead can go down this afternoon, but they won't as it stands because they are winning. They're beating Clyde, who are the other team down at the bottom of the league, by 1-0. It's Queen of the South 2, Montrose 3 at half-time. Queen of the South down to 10 men. Scottish League 2, Dumbarton 0, East Fife 0, Stirling 1, Annan 1. Stirling can go up as champions today. As it stands, that is exactly what would happen. Albion Rovers 1, Stenhousemuir 0, Forfar 0, Bonnyrigg Rose 1, and Stranraer 1, Elgin City 0. Let's go back into the Women's Six Nations. Ireland, England, Claire Thomas.
Well, sound the cliche klaxon. It's been a real game of 2 halves. England won the first 40 by 27 points, but took 30 minutes to manage any in the second. Replacement Amber Reid has just gone over for their 6th try, though, with Helena Rowland adding the conversion on her return from injury. Ireland look on track to limit the reigning champions to their lowest scoreline of the campaign so far, so there is plenty for this crowd to cheer about. Although, as I say that, Alex Matthews bundles over. England have their 7th, 3 minutes remaining, conversion to come, but they lead 39 points to 0.
I don't think there's any doubt we're at the right game in the Gallagher Premiership. Harlequins Bath, Chris Jones.
Yeah, Harlequins 21, Bath 24. Loads of tries as predicted, 3 each. Dunban, Veltzer, and a powerful finish from England centre Ollie Lawrence right at the end of the first half. For Bath, for Quins, Caden Murley's got his 14th this season. Luke Wallace and Marcus Smith also scoring. Big Twickenham crowd have enjoyed an entertaining first 40, but Bath edge it as the second half just about gets underway. Harlequins 21, Bath 24.
And in the other game, it's Exeter Chiefs 12, Bristol 7. And you are up to date. Second half commentary on the way from the King Power after the news with Carl Hartley.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thanks, Steve. Barry Humphries, the Australian comedian known for his alter ego Dame Edna Everage, has died at the age of 89. He was recently admitted to hospital in Sydney. The journalist Andrew Neil visited him in Australia a few days ago.
Barry was very funny on stage. He was even funnier off stage. And he had a wealth of stories to tell, jokes to make, things to say. It was a joy, a privilege to be able to see him one last time.
The new treasurer of the Scottish National Party says he wants to improve the SNP's governance and transparency. Stuart MacDonald replaces Colin Beattie, who resigned from the role after being questioned and released without charge by police investigating the party's finances. Rishi Sunak has chaired a meeting of the government's Cobra Emergency Committee to discuss plans to evacuate British nationals from Sudan. There's been more than a week of heavy fighting in the country, centring around the capital Khartoum. And a serving member of the armed forces has appeared at Westminster Magistrates Court accused of sharing highly sensitive military information. Prosecutors told the hearing that Thomas Newsome, who's 36, had taken photographs of a 10-page document and shared it with a civilian who didn't have clearance to view the material.
This is 5 Live Sport with Steve Crossman.
And let's round up the day's action at Ayr, including the Scottish Grand National victory for Kitty's Light with Darren Owen.
Yeah, Christian Williams has once again advertised his claims as a leading trainer of staying steeplechasers, with the stable's Kitty's Light, who was a runner-up 12 months ago, going one better today. Surviving a mistake at the final fence, Kitty's Light won by 3 lengths. The 4-1 joint favourite, beating number 12 Cooper's Cross at 25-1. Number 14 Flash to Hussein was third at 40-1, and the fourth was number 2 3 Under Through 5 at 16-1.
We have full commentary of the way of the FA Cup semi-final at Wembley Stadium, Manchester City versus Sheffield United. That once we're done at the King Power, with all the goals as they go in. Leicester City versus Wolves with Mark Schwarzer and Ali Brucebull.
Thank you, Steve. Welcome back. Second half just about to get underway. Leicester 1, Wolves 1. Both teams have made a change. Jamie Vardy having been caught by Jose Sarr for the penalty that Leicester then scored, has not reappeared for the second half. Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall replaces him. And a change in the Wolves midfield as well. We mentioned it at the start of the game. Ruben Neves available today, back after a 2-game suspension, having picked up 10 yellow cards. Jose Sarr taking a risk, dribbling inside his own penalty area. Iheanacho nearly caught him. But the goalkeeper was nimble of foot, and Wolves are able to clear. So Neves is on for Mario Lemina in central midfield. So that is a like for like. And Mark, in terms of Leicester, as you just suggested to me, Iheanacho through the middle and Dewsbury-Hall into that midfield.
Yeah, that's right. That's the most logical way it'll work. I think it's an easy substitution to make when you have to. It's an enforced one, I would assume, because of that injury that Jamie Vardy sustained during obtaining that penalty.
So, Premier League table as it stands at the bottom. Southampton with their draw last night, 24 points. Leicester with a draw today at the moment would be on 26. Nottingham Forest a 0-0 at Anfield, they'd be on 28. Everton a 0-0 at Selhurst Park, they'd be on 28. Leeds lost 2-1 at Fulham, they're on 29. West Ham Bournemouth play tomorrow. West Ham 31, Bournemouth 33. Wolves will be on 35. Tranmere 2, Grimsby 0. Early goal in the second half in League 2. Dewsbury-Hall gets an early touch from the throw, plays it to Tielemans. Tielemans wins another throw. Attacking position for Leicester, wide on the right, who you think really, considering their position, need to win this game. They've won a free kick. Dewsbury-Hall has lost a boot in the challenge on him. Daniel Everson is the Leicester goalkeeper. Castagna, Fass, Soyuncu and Christensen the back four. Sumare, Tielemans, Dewsbury-Hall in midfield. Tete, Iheanacho and Daka. And Wolves have Jose Sarr in goal. I'll break off because there's been a goal at Anfield. Conor McNamara.
Breakthrough for Liverpool, who lead Nottingham Forest by 1-0. Diogo Jota back in the goals. He got 2 on Monday at Elland Road after a run of 32 matches without scoring, and now they are flowing. Just 2 minutes into the second half, short range header. Liverpool 1, Nottingham Forest 0.
Free kick for Leicester, curled into the Wolves penalty area. Chested bam by Daka, volleyed back across goal. goal, and Jose Sarr is there at full stretch to grab it. Sarr in goal for Wolves, Semedo, Dawson, Kilman and Totti back four. It's a 4-4-2 really. Mateus Nunez, João Gomez and now Ruben Neves, with Pablo Sarabia making up the midfield from right to left. The goal scorer Mateus Cunha alongside Diego Costa up front. Jose Sarr on a yellow card for conceding the penalty, and Totti at left back on a yellow card as well. So all set for the second half. Hope you're back with us, enjoying the action this afternoon. As Steve Crossman was saying straight after this game, off to Wembley, first of the FA Cup semi-finals this weekend. John Murray and Leon Osman bringing you Manchester City, Sheffield United in full, with Erling Haaland starting the game. Dewsbury Hall tackled on the left for Leicester, just inside his own half. Throw in for Leicester. Brentford Villa, Katie Smith.
Yeah, it's 0-0 here, but a really intriguing substitution. Emi Martinez in goal for Villa in the first half has been subbed off. So we've got Robin Olsen on the pitch now. A very busy first half for the keeper. We're not quite sure what happened yet, but he did have a collision with Janelt. Had to do the splits to save from Tony. So we'll see if we can get any more on that. But he is out of goal. It is 0-0 between Brentford and Villa.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to do the splits, then I would definitely not be reappearing for the second half, but I know these footballers are far more flexible than myself. 3.5 minutes gone in the second half here. Leicester 1, Wolves 1. Dewsbury Hall heavily involved in the early stages in the second half. Plays to Samare into the team in place of Ndidi this afternoon. And don't forget, no Maddison out there, he's ill. No Harvey Barnes out there, and no Vardy out there for the second half either. Daka's low ball into a central position. Castagna controls it. He's got Sarabia for company. And now the ball with Wout Faes. Good skills. Moves away from a couple of Wolves players. Plays the pass to Dewsbury Hall. Gets his head up. Decides to hit the shot. Wide of goal. Jose Sarr will tell you he had it covered behind for the goal kick. Forest Green have a goal back at Cheltenham in League One. Cheltenham 3, Forest Green 1, and Hibs are down to 10 men in the Scottish Premiership. James Jego sent off. St Johnstone 1, Hibs 1. Full-time Ireland England in the Women's Six Nations. Claire Thomas.
Had their 23rd straight win in this competition now, after putting 48 unanswered points on Ireland in Cork. They now have 4 bonus point victories in the bag, and if France beat Wales in Grenoble tomorrow, we'll have a Grand Slam decider before over 50,000 at Twickenham next Saturday. Ireland contained the Red Rose much better than Scotland, Italy or Wales, but the world number ones remain precisely that and march on in their title defence. Full time in Cork, Ireland's 0, England 48.
France Wales in Grenoble tomorrow kicks off at 3:15. Commentary will start online on that game, and then from 4 o'clock on Sports Extra you'll be able to hear the rest of that game in the Women's Six Nations. As Claire has just explained, if France win it, then it's a Grand Slam decider in the final round of fixtures. 4:45 today in the Women's Six Nations is Scotland against Italy. Bradford equaliser at home against Gillingham. Bradford 1, Gillingham 1 in League 2. Leicester have won the ball high up the field. Tielemans looking to release Tete. Tete, I think, fouled João Gomez. Gomez wasn't bothered, picked himself up. Neves plays it back to Kilman. Kilman rolls it gently back to his goalkeeper, Jose Sarr. Sarr swings a right boot at it. Up in the air it goes. Christensen wins the header. Daka controls it on the volley. And Leicester have made a decent start to the second half. Another goal at Anfield. Conor McNamara.
Incredible turn of events. Liverpool 1, Nottingham Forest 1. Forest only had 1 shot in the first half, have now scored to make it 1-1, and it's the former Liverpool player Nico Williams, who never scored a goal during his time here at Liverpool, but his shot is deflected in off Andy Robertson. A hand from the goalkeeper Alisson too, but he couldn't keep it out. Liverpool 1, Nottingham Forest 1.
Costa chests it down to Cunha. Cunha trying to get in between Soyuncu and Faes. He must have fouled Soyuncu there as he tried to get through. He did. That'll be a free kick to Leicester. So we're back to the point where Leicester, Everton and Nottingham Forest still all level. Everton 0-0 at Palace, Forest 1-1 at Liverpool, and here it's Leicester 1, Wolves 1. Leicester coming forward with Dewsbury Hall, support on the outside from Christensen, doesn't need him, plays the 1-2 with Daka. Shakes off the attentions of João Gomez, the cross comes in, that won't reach Iheanacho, headed away, and Cunha in the light grey of Wolves chests the ball down. Leicester have it back. Leicester playing from left to right in this second half in glorious sunshine in the East Midlands. Blue kit with the white trim, and Leicester fans feeling a little bit more optimistic. I can see that Wolves are about to make a couple of changes. Coventry Reading, there's been a goal. Chris Coles.
A potentially huge goal for Reading in their battle to avoid relegation. They've equalised. Fine finish from Lucas Zhao just inside the penalty area, bent into the bottom corner, and boy do Reading need this. Coventry 1, Reading 1.
Wolves might come on the break here with Sarabia. Costa's offside. Is he? Well, flag stays down. Costa gets his head down, speeds into the Leicester penalty area, plays the low ball across to the far post. Poor clearance, Cunha shoots, Everson blocks with his right foot, and then the flag goes up. Of course it does.
Yeah, just a long time, isn't it, into the event. It should have been a flag earlier. I mean, Costa was offside by quite a margin. Has to raise his flag, he doesn't, and obviously it plays on for ages before he finally lefts it.
Leyton Orient 1, Crewe 0. Leyton Orient already promoted. If they win that game today and Stevenage fail to win, then Leyton Orient win the title. They need 5 points from the last 4 games, but could get it done today. And Gary Flintoff, quick as a flash, onto the old Stevenage game. And yes, Stevenage are behind, so at the moment, that would give Leyton Orient the title today. And I can see Exeter a 1-up away to Sheffield Wednesday, so we'll get details on that goal in a second. Iheanacho's taken a tumble on the edge of the Wolves penalty area. No foul there. You're up to date on 5 Live, the BBC Sounds app if you're on the move, and the BBC World Service as well. Here's Cunha. Got to fit. I mean, at the moment still, Mark, it really does fit. This one's right in the balance, this game, isn't it?
It is, and Leicester is certainly a little bit more on the front foot. Dewsbury Hall is not necessarily playing that number 10 role. He sort of changes with Yuri Tillemans. The two of them are more in an advanced position, so they're definitely gone for a more attacking option, even more attacking option in the second half.
Ball played forward by Ruben Neves, hair tied back in the long ponytail. Pass across field, chested down easily by Castagna. Cunha sold himself there, and Castagna just moved comfortably inside the slide challenge. Tete, I'm sure he's overhit that. Headed away by Dawson. There's Neves. Neves plays back to the Wolves captain Kilman. Cunha able to turn just inside his own half. Forward to Costa. Costa caught by Soumare, wins the free kick, and then pleads with the referee to give Soumare a yellow card.
That's the danger for Leicester. Because of the Tillemans going forward, Dewsbury Hall going more forward, Soumare's a lot by himself. He's got a lot of ground to cover, and he's got to be careful not to get caught out and give away too many fouls like that.
Right, we're now at the wrong game in the second half. Back to Anfield, Conor McNamara.
It's Liverpool 2, Nottingham Forest 1. Diogo Jota again, his second of the game. A smart finish into the bottom corner. It's now 4 goals in 2 matches for the Portuguese international after a run of 32 games without scoring. Diogo Jota is very much back. Liverpool 2, Nottingham Forest 1.
Mark Schwartz has just pointed out to me as well, Bayern Munich were 1-0 up away to Mainz this afternoon. They're now trailing, aren't they?
3-1.
3-1 to Mainz, having gone out of the Champions League to Manchester City in midweek. News of the goal in the game between Sheffield Wednesday and Exeter from Adam Whitty.
And it's 1-0 to Exeter, and Sheffield Wednesday needing to win to keep up their promotion chase might be blowing it. Crossing from the right, and the right wing back playing up front today for Exeter, who haven't got a striker, bundled it home with 49 minutes gone. It's Sheffield Wednesday 0, Exeter 1.
A big goal coming in that promotion race as well at Plymouth, John Akers.
Big goals raining for Plymouth Argyle. Plymouth 2, Cambridge 1. It's Jordan Houghton, I think, is it, in the penalty area. It's Joe Edwards who gets a toe on it. The captain in front of the Devonport end. Plymouth 2, Cambridge 1.
So Sheffield Wednesday losing. I can see Barnsley lead Oxford United by 2-0. So Barnsley closing in on Sheffield Wednesday. Chance for Daka, hits the shot. Sarr makes the save, and the rebound smashed over by Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, who puts his head in his hands. What a chance for Leicester to go in front.
Massive chance there for Leicester. I think it was a last-ditch effort by Ruben Neves. It looks like he may have hurt himself. He actually full stretch dive to put off Dewsbury Hall, which looked like almost a dead certain goal, but he smashes it over the crossbar from about 7 yards out.
Right, Liverpool leading Nottingham Forest 2-1 in the Premier League. What about events at Selhurst Park? Palace Everton, Lee Blakeman.
Palace 0, Everton 0. Palace have just had one ruled out though. Eze on the end of a long ball, in behind, lovely chip over the top of Jordan Pickford. Ran away celebrating, but then saw the flag go up over on the far side. Still Palace 0, Everton 0.
Celtic Motherwell, there's been another goal. Roddy Forsyth.
And it's Celtic 1, Motherwell 1. Kevin Van Veen playing as a lone striker. It's been a thankless task up until now. He picked the ball up just inside the halfway line, held Starfelt off all the way up to the goal and rolled it in beyond Joe Hart. It's now Motherwell, or Celtic 1, Motherwell 1.
More goals, this time from Chris Coles. Coventry Reading. Chris.
Reading parity did not last long. Coventry City back in front and heading back into the playoffs. Gus Hamer, edge of the box, loose ball, fine finish into the bottom corner. Coventry 2, Reading 1.
Right, another goal in that race for the automatic promotion spots in League One. Peterborough Ipswich. Which way has this one gone, Aaron Paul?
It's gone to the visitors, Ipswich. Peterborough United 0, Ipswich Town 2. Connor Chaplin with his 26th goal of the season. This is a bit of class. Broadhead into Chaplin, who made the run outside the defender and just smashed the ball past the goalkeeper. And the 4,000 Ipswich fans to my left are going absolutely bonkers. Peterborough 0, Ipswich 2.
So Plymouth leading Cambridge 2-1 would put them on 92 points. Ipswich 2-0 up would put them on 91 points. Sheffield Wednesday 1-0 down at home to Exeter on 87 points. Barnsley 2-0 up on Oxford puts them on 85 points. What a race for those top two spots in League One. Joao Moutinho and Hwang Hee-chan both onto the field for Wolves. Diego Costa was one of those to come off, and Pablo Sarabia was the other. So that's the double change for Wolves. That's been made before the hour mark by Yulen Lopetegui. And this game is still Leicester 1, Wolves 1. And I'm just seeing if we're up to date with everything else. As I say that, we're heading straight to the Valley. League One, Charlton Morecambe. Mike Williams.
Morecambe not dead yet in this League One relegation scrap. They've retaken the lead here, and it's Cole Scooten again with the second of the match. This one a tap in. Stockton got a worldie for the first one. This one much more simpler. They all count, and it's fired. Morecambe back into the lead, and they are now level on points at the bottom of League One in the relegation zone. 2-1.
Salford City 1 up away to Walsall in League Two. Louis Barry's been sent off for them, and Samare here has made an unwise challenge on Joao Gomez of Wolves just outside his own penalty area. So free kick in a shooting position on the way. So just over half an hour to play. Leicester 1, Wolves 1. Mark Schwarzer.
Yeah, just at the moment there's a lot of battles going on in midfield, not a lot of end product, no real chances on goal. We saw that one with Dewsbury Hall. He smashes it over from about 7 yards out. Other than that, it's been a battle in midfield.
Ruben Neves might fancy this though. On the field as a second half substitute, has recovered from the knock he took, very deliberately lining this ball up. He's got a nice angle to work with here as well, hasn't he, Mark, from the as we look at it, from the sort of to the left of the Leicester goal.
Yeah, he does, and it always is a really difficult position to try and defend against. As a goalkeeper, yeah, you feel like a bit more confident that you've got your angles covered. You've got a four-man wall, as Daniel Everson's got set up, but you've got to be on your toes.
Yeah, Neves can certainly hit them. Let's see what he can do with this one, with his right foot. Oh, it's well hit, just over the bar, brushes the roof of the net. Everson was to the left of his goal, used the wall to cover the right of his goal, and he and Leicester will tell you they got it spot on.
Well, I think he did. I think he had it actually easily in his grasp. If he needed to make the save, he could have. The ball was over the crossbar, and I thought he set the wall up, and his position in the 6-yard box was perfect.
If Leicester can win this game, they'll get themselves to 28 points. Everton at the moment, 0-0 against Palace, would also be on 28 points. But Leicester would move out of the bottom three on goal difference. They want all 3 points though. Samare charging down the left-hand side. Good strength, just barges Ruben Neves out of the way. Plays the ball back here to Dewsbury Hall. Dewsbury Hall to Tielemans. Tielemans to Samare. Gets it straight back, does the Belgian. Tielemans, quick pass to his left to Luke Thomas. Thomas to Tielemans. Wolves forcing Leicester back. Tielemans tries to switch it. Has it intercepted by Hwang. Castagna tries to make the challenge. Hwang gets his pass away to Neves. Neves charging deep into Leicester territory. Slides the pass through. Soyuncu reads it and intercepts with his left foot. And Christensen now has a chance to clear. He's fouled and Leicester will get a free kick. I missed the last instruction on where I'm supposed to go next, so I'm going to wait patiently to hear that we're going to Cardiff for Cardiff Stoke. Laura Kenyon.
Where it remains Cardiff 1, Stoke 1, but Cardiff have just missed the penalty Smallbone brought down Philogene in the box. Referee pointed straight to the spot. Sorry Carver stepped up. Saved though by Jack Bonham in the Stoke goal. Got down to his left. It's Cardiff 1, Stoke 1.
Yeah, big games at the bottom at the start of the day. 3 points separating Rotherham, Cardiff, Huddersfield, QPR and Reading from 18th to 22nd spot. In about 15 minutes or so time, I'll run you down all the scores in all the leagues as they stand. Altrincham 1, Torquay 1. So Torquay back level in that game. Important for them as they struggle to stay in the National League. Back to Selhurst Park, Lee Blakeman.
Palace 0, Everton 0. Everton's best chance of the game by a mile. Through ball, Dominic Calvert-Lewin took it brilliantly on the turn, edge of the area, put his shot in, waiting for the net to bulge, just wide of the bottom corner, 0-0.
Tielemans finds Iheanacho. Iheanacho was looking for the ball wide right to Castagna. Castagna's now out of position as Hwang tries to bring it down the left. Samare, good defending for Leicester, gets his body in the way. Assistant referee's got no idea here, so the referee steps in and says throw in Leicester.
Yeah, I think the assistant referee wasn't 100% sure, but he was indicating as if it was a Wolves throw-in, but the referee jumped in quickly and gave it to Leicester.
Right, goal at Turf Moor, John Bennett.
Did not see this one coming. It is Burnley 0, QPR 1. A huge goal for Sam Field. Long throw into the box, and Field half volleyed it into the back of the net. Burnley have dominated, but QPR fighting for survival have the lead. Burnley 0, QPR 1.
Yeah, I know John, as a Leicester fan, is listening intently to the commentary here as well. Leicester 1, Wolves 1. So much riding on this one. Leicester, of course, with 8 defeats in the last 9 games, just the 1 point in the 1-1 draw against Brentford. Have lost the last 4 home games in the Premier League here as well. Lose a 5th in a row today, and that would equal an unwanted club league record which was set back in 1959, but they're not thinking about that, nor are the Leicester fans, and nor should they be, as Totti's cross is blocked by Castagna and Wolves get a throw wide on the left, just short of the Leicester penalty area. Totti holds the ball above his head for a second and wants someone to make a move for him. They don't do that, so he throws back towards the halfway line. Harlequins Bath, there's been a try. Chris Jones.
A bonus point try for Harlequins. It's really opening up now. Lewis Liner hauled down after a 50-metre burst, but with Bath scrambling. Marcus Smith offloaded to scrum half Lewis Jaltema to go under the post. Harlequins 4 ahead. Harlequins 28, Bath 24. 21 minutes to go.
Leicester with defending to do. João Moutinho looking for the 1-2 with Semedo. Soyuncu's there, gets his body in the way, and behind it goes for a goal kick. I think Wrexham are going to have to beat Boreham Wood tonight if they want the title and they want promotion, because Notts County are doing their bit. They are 3-0 up now away to Maidstone in the National League. Win that game, they will be on 106 points, having played a game more than Wrexham, on 107 points. And I've not been looking on social media, but I'm presuming the likes of Mr. Reynolds and Mr. McElhenney will be at that game this evening. I know Mr. Sahi will be for 5 Live in amongst the big names. Colchester 4, Sutton 1 in League 2. End to end we go. We continue here in the company of Mark Schwarzer. Leicester 1, Wolves 1. Best chance of the second half. Still that Daka shot that was saved, and Dewsbury Hall putting the rebound over the crossbar, Mark.
Yeah, I think it's really, the game has flowed based, certainly in the second half, based on the substitutions. From half time, Dewsbury Hall coming on for Leicester has had an impact that first sort of 5 to 10 minutes of the second half. Since then, you see Wolves have made a couple of substitutions. Moutinho coming on, Neves coming on, and the game sort of flowed and changed a little bit in their direction.
First goal of the afternoon at Brentford, Katie Smith.
And it's gone the way of the home side. Brentford 1, Aston Villa 0. It had been coming. I cannot believe they weren't ahead moments ago. The ball coming in across on the right-hand side. Ivan Toney at the far post to just dink it in. A 19th of the season for him. Brentford 1, Aston Villa 0.
Let's get you up to date with all the other goals going in. They're rifling down the Vidi printer at the moment. Swindon with a 4th away at Wimbledon. They lead 4-1. Doncaster 1, Newport 1 in League 2. Norwich 0, Swansea 3 now in the Championship. Bolton leading Shrewsbury by a 1-0 in League 1. Leicester have a corner coming shortly. It'll come in from the left. Tielemans offering the short option. 2 players lurking on the edge of the penalty area for a potential clearance, and it comes deep to the far post. Soyuncu's there. Soyuncu, oh, what a shot, and Sarr saves. Got his body in the way at the near post. Gave that a fearful thump, and actually the offside flag was up, so may not have counted. Derby 1, Burton 0, latest in League One. Important goal as well at Hillsborough. Sheffield Wednesday, Exeter, Adam Whitty.
Yeah, Sheffield Wednesday 1, Exeter 1. 60 minutes gone. Lee Gregory bundling home just inside the penalty area to give the crowd here a bit of hope. They've got to win to keep up with the promotion chasers at the top of the division. 1-1 Sheffield Wednesday and Exeter, 61 minutes gone.
Morecambe need a win to try and stay in the division, try and help them stay in the division, I should say. What's happening at the Valley, Mike Williams?
They've got a third here, Ali. What an afternoon for them. Jason Weir with a tap in after the Charlton keeper Maynard had parried an effort in the Charlton goal. So with MK Dons, Oxford and Cambridge all losing, Morecambe as things stand only in the League One relegation zone on goal difference. Charlton 1, Morecambe 3.
10-man Salford pegged back. Walsall 1, Salford 1. Rotherham have an equaliser at Bristol City through a penalty. That is 1-1. Another goal at Anfield. Conor McNamara.
Liverpool just can't put this to bed. It is 2-2. Nottingham Forest come from behind again. This time Morgan Gibbs wide. Only his third Premier League goal for Nottingham Forest. Liverpool have had all the possession, all the chances, but Forest clinging on, and this could be huge for their survival efforts. Liverpool 2, Nottingham Forest 2.
Yeah, match of the day going to be well worth a watch this evening, as it always is. Ashley Williams and Jermaine Defoe in the studio tonight, 10:20 on BBC One. All the reaction, as always, to the day's football in the Football Daily podcast, available for you on the BBC Sounds app. Later on, Hartlepool Crawley battle near the bottom of League Two. Goal in that one, Andy Sixsmith.
And a massive goal for the away side. Crawley Town, they lead 2-0. Sometimes you just have to go route one, Ali. Long ball forward, lovely control by Dom Telford, and he slid his left-footed finish into the bottom left-hand corner. Huge goal in the League Two relegation battle. Crawley lead 2-0.
Just over 20 minutes to play at the King Power Stadium. Enjoying your company. Thank you for being with us this afternoon on 5 Live, BBC Sounds and the BBC World Service. Stick with us as well. Manchester City, Sheffield United in full. 4:45 kickoff at Wembley in the first FA Cup semi-final. Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton taking the calls on 6:06 after that. And then a big fight from 10 o'clock tonight. 5 Live boxing. Joe Cordina against Shavkat Rakimov in Cardiff. London Marathon tomorrow. Ed, Harry and Alison Kirbishley with the updates on 5 Live throughout the morning. Newcastle Tottenham in full at 2 o'clock in the Premier League. Brighton Manchester United in the FA Cup semi-final. Full commentary on that one at 4:30. That game is also on BBC One. Mark Schwartz has been scribbling furiously to my right here. Oh, another goal at Anfield. Connor.
Liverpool take the lead again. It's a 5-goal thriller now. Liverpool 3, Nottingham Forest 2, and who else but Mo Salah at the Kop end, curling it into the far top corner. Forest have twice come from behind. Can they do it again? The body language looks dejected from Steve Cooper's teams now. It's Liverpool 3, Nottingham Forest 2.
Leicester 1, Wolves 1. Neves' curling ball wide to Totti on the left. Totti's ball into the penalty area. Hwang tried to let that run across his body to line himself up for a shot. He's tackled by Ndidi. I don't think I mentioned that actually. Ndidi on for Tielemans. Has been a change made by Leicester.
Yeah, he has come on in that midfield position there, and you can see that you got Ian Acho up front, and Didi's just slotted in right into that centre of midfield role there. I mean, Yuri Tielemans has had a difficult afternoon. He was obviously at fault for the first goal. He just hasn't quite been on it. A lot of his passes have been wayward, intercepted. It's caused his team a few times a bit of extra pressure when unneededly, really.
Mark Schwartz with us here at the King Power Stadium. Just going to ask Gary if you can bring up the League Two scores. Just want to check what's going on with Stockport Rochdale at the moment, given the Hartlepool Crawley news. Crawley 2-0 up at Hartlepool, and Stockport lead Rochdale by a goal to 0, and as if by magic, let's get there. Adam Cottier.
Yeah, Stockport 1, Rochdale 0. Whatever Rochdale do here, it's all academic at the moment because Crawley are winning that game up at Hartlepool. Rochdale have had one shot this afternoon, Danny Lloyd curling off target in this second half. Stockport dominant, but they've not put this game to bed yet. Stockport 1, Rochdale 0.
Crawley win also leaves Hartlepool on the brink. 6 points from safety with 2 games left to play, but relegation not confirmed today in that instance. Torquay battling to stay in the National League, now 2-1 up away to Altrincham. 20 minutes to play here at the King Power Stadium. So we've got Liverpool 3-2 up on Nottingham Forest. Having led twice, been pegged back, now lead 3-2. Ivan Toney's goal has Brentford 1-0 up on Aston Villa. Still goalless between Palace and Everton, and this one's still 1-1. Ian Acho inside the Wolves half, controls it but is tackled. Hwang plays back into the centre circle. João Moutinho trying to control things in midfield for Wolves. To Dawson. Semedo plays forward to João Gomez. Now attacking down the right with Mateusz Nunes. Seemed to lose his footing, but apparently was caught by Victor Christiansen. Christiansen's reaction, he looks absolutely mystified that a free kick's been given against him.
Yeah, but the referee is right. I mean, it's difficult to see from where we are, but I mean, the referee is right in front of it. He's about 15 yards away, 10 yards away. Watching on the replay now, yeah, I can understand why Christiansen's bewildered by the decision, because it doesn't look like there's anything in it at all.
So free kick for Wolves. Tense times at the King Power Stadium. Leicester sitting in the bottom three, Premier League champions just 7 years ago, but now in danger of relegation in what's been a very difficult season for them. 7 wins, 4 draws, 20 defeats so far this season. Can't afford another one today. Defending to do here. João Moutinho with the free kick into the penalty area, headed into the ground by Soumare. Hwang jumps for it, cleared away by Tete. Been another goal at Plymouth. John Akers.
Plymouth, it's Argyle 3, Cambridge 1. Niall Ennis off the substitutes bench after brilliant work from Mumba. They should stay top. Cambridge in trouble down at the bottom. Argyle 3, Cambridge 1.
Yeah, Plymouth in front, Ipswich in front. Sheffield Wednesday level against Exeter. Barnsley leading against Oxford. That's what's going on in League One. Here's Daka on the left. Daka to Dewsbury Hall. Daka down inside the penalty area. Was looking to make a little run. Referee saw the challenge. Not interested in giving a penalty to Leicester. Moutinho clears. Soyuncu reads it, volleys it forward, but has given it away. Cunha is able to turn just inside his own half. Plays out to Mateusz Nunes. Nunes back to Semedo in the right back position. Newport 2-1 up away to Doncaster in League Two. João Moutinho, lovely chipped ball with his right foot. Releases Totti, chests the ball down on the left-hand side. Neves moving from shade to sunshine here at the King Power Stadium. João Gomez 30 yards out in a central position. Leicester fans urging their team to make a challenge and close him down. Wide it goes to Mateusz, cross in, headed away by Ndidi. Controlled in midfield by João Gomez again. Played back to Craig Dawson, but a Wolves pressure is building at the moment here. Let's not forget they're not quite clear of trouble just yet. Starting the day 7 points clear of the drop zone, but would dearly love the win as well. Here's Kilman to Neves. Neves slides the ball through the middle. Moutinho looking for the 1-2 with Cunha. Might run to Hwang on the edge of the box. Castagna gets a foot in. Can Leicester counter now with the pace of Daka? Daka being urged forward by the vociferous Leicester fans. Striding into the Wolves half. Dewsbury Hall waiting on his left. Daka up to the corner of the penalty area, then plays it to Dewsbury Hall. He's lost a bit of thrust, that move.
Yeah, just really slow in that transition, movement forward. Really ran out of ideas. Daka didn't see any options to play the ball, and there was a lot of static players around him, and it just literally fizzled out.
Dennis Pratt waiting to come on. Mark Schwartz is sitting alongside us here at the King Power Stadium. Heading towards the last 15 minutes. Goal at St Andrews, Birmingham, Blackpool. Pat Murphy.
It's gone to Blackpool. Ian Pavedo. A misunderstanding between the keeper, Etheridge, and his central defenders meant that Rodgers could square it across. Pavedo on the substitute just walked it in. What a moment for Blackpool. Birmingham 0, Blackpool 1.
Yeah, fighting to try and stay in the Championship. Maidstone have a goal back against Notts County in the National League, but Notts County still comfortable, it looks, leading by 3-1. Leicester attacking down the left with Christiansen. Low cross comes in. Castagna with his left foot buries it into the bottom corner. One full-back finds the other. Absolutely massive goal for Leicester in the relegation battle. They've sliced Wolves apart, doing it without Jamie Madison, without Harvey Barnes. Jamie Vardy off at half-time. A goal down as well today, but now they lead by 2-1.
Absolutely massive goal for Leicester City, and it all comes about from a really good play of 1-2 at the edge of the corner of the box by Soumare as he plays out the ball out wide to the left. And then you can see that as Christiansen gets on, it's a great ball cut back into the box, and a very, very good finish into the bottom corner.
So Leicester 2, Wolves 1, 15 minutes to play. Change coming for Leicester. Dennis Pratt is coming on for Tete. Let's check in at Selhurst Park as well in the Premier League. Crystal Palace against Everton, Lee Blakeman.
Palace should be ahead. It's 0-0, but Eze's just picked up the ball, edge of the area, right foot, curled it towards the bottom corner. What a big save by Jordan Pickford to turn it round the post, low to his left. Palace 0, Everton 0.
Listen to the noise inside the King Power Stadium. Timothy Castagna's second goal of the season, the first one all the way back in August on the opening weekend in this stadium in a 2-2 draw against Brentford. Win would take Leicester to 28 points. Nottingham Forest are losing, they'd be on 27. Everton are drawing, they'd be on 28, but Leicester's goal difference is better. As things stand, a win for Leicester takes them out of the bottom three this evening. Leeds away for them on Tuesday, another big game in the relegation battle, and then Everton at home a week on Monday. 14 minutes to play. Quins against Bath in the Gallagher Premiership. What's happening there, Chris Jones?
Two quick tries from Bath. Niall Ammett at the bottom of rolling ball, and now Joe Cockney-Seeger on the close off the great build-up play. Ben Spencer kicking like a dream. Bath have put this one in the bag. Harlequins 28, Bath 38, less than 10 minutes to play.
Leicester looking for a first win in 10 Premier League games. Last one came against Tottenham at this stadium back on the 11th of February. Still think there might be some nervy moments to come for them, but at the moment they're coming on the counter-attack again. Iheanacho looking to be released. He could be in here. Iheanacho takes the touch, gets it back onto his right foot, takes his time now. Dewsbury Hall's waiting for him, never decided to hit it with his left. Here's Daka from the edge of the box, shot takes a deflection, and eventually Jose Sarr picks it up.
Yeah, just to miss it. He didn't get enough power on that shot from the edge of the box there. It was a wonderful ball again from Samara. He's been really big for Leicester in this second half.
Maidstone 2, Notts County 3, so maybe that's not all over yet in the National League. Notts County were 3-0 up against Maidstone, but now Maidstone have pulled a second goal back. What's happening at Anfield? Conor McNamara.
Still Liverpool 3, Nottingham Forest 2, but Brennan Johnson, Forest top scorer this season, has come off the bench and hit the crossbar. So this isn't over yet. From short range, tried to just dink it over Allison. It came back off the woodwork. Liverpool breathed a huge sigh of relief, and this is critical now for Forest with what's happening where you are. Liverpool 3, Forest 2.
Yeah, I thought I was in the thick of a good atmosphere at Sevilla on Thursday night. I tell you what, there's some noise inside this stadium right now as well. Wolves trying to get themselves back into the game. Leicester leading Wolves by 2-1. I'm going to run you down all the scores in League 2 in just a second. Let's see what Wolves can do here though. Craig Dawson into Leicester territory, curling pass out to the right, finds Mateus Christensen immediately in his grill. Played back to Neves. Neves across to João Gomez. Max Kilman with his left foot strokes the pass to Totti on the left. Infield to Hwang. Hwang tackled by Ndidi. Cleared by the goal scorer Castagna. Been a red card at Selhurst Park. Let's get there, Lee Blakeman.
Mason Holgate, second bookable offence. It was a late tackle as he brought down Michael Elise on the edge of the Everton area. Everton caught, playing out from the back, and now Holgate's walking. They've got to play the last 10 with 10 men. Palace 0, Everton 0.
Liverpool 3, Nottingham Forest 2, Brentford 1, Villa 0. Here it's Leicester 2, Wolves 1. Again, another Wolves attack building down the right-hand side. Leicester fans not having it, trying to sing their team to the winning line here. João Gomez is almost threaded in. Cross will come in from the right. Totti will attack at the far post and heads it into the side netting. Right, latest in League 2. What have we got? We've got about 10 minutes left to play in all these games in the 3 o'clock kickoffs up and down the country. AFC Wimbledon 1. Swindon 4. Carlisle 1-0 up at Barrow. Bradford City 1, Gillingham 1. Colchester United leading Sutton 4-1. Newport County 3-1 up away to Doncaster. The big one at the bottom, 22nd against 23rd. Crawley Town are winning. That's going to leave Hartlepool in real trouble. Crawley 2-0 up there, both goals from Dominic Telford. Leyton Orient 2, Crewe 0. Mansfield 1, Stevenage 0. As that stands, Leyton Orient are winning the title today. Northampton are clinching a playoff place as things stand as well, because they're leading Harrogate by 3-1. Stockport 1, Rochdale 0. So Rochdale are going down. They've been a Football League club since 1921. Tranmere 2, Grimsby 0. And 10-man Salford 1-1 away to Walsall. 10 minutes remaining in this game. Portsmouth 1, Accrington 0. Goal has just gone in League 1. Goal at Turf Moor, John Bennett.
Burnley have equalised, yet to be beaten this season at Turf Moor, and that run set to continue now. Brilliant goal by Manuel Benson, cutting in from the right-hand side, left-footed into the back of the net. Burnley 1, QPR 1.
Leicester 2, Wolves 1. The question, Mark Schwarzer, is do Leicester have the nerve, the confidence, the courage to hold on here?
That's their big challenge now. You know, you go on such a long run without winning a game, you almost forget how to win, and the pressure just mounts and mounts, and obviously they're in a relegation dogfight. They need these points desperately, so it's about now trying to play a bit more on the front foot, play with a bit more confidence, take a bit more control of the game. Don't sit back, don't drop, and allow Wolves to get into the game and gain some momentum.
Just been passed the note that Ronnie O'Sullivan is through to the quarter-finals of the World Snooker Championships at the Crucible. Big goal in League One at Hillsborough. Adam Whitty.
75 minutes gone. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Exeter 1. Big goal in the title race this. Callum Patterson alert in the penalty area to bundle home a misplaced shot. It means they keep up the pace with Ipswich and Plymouth at the top of the division, but stay in third as it stands. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Exeter 1, 76 minutes gone.
Spot on. Top 4 all leading. I'm going to run you down the scores in League One in just a second. Goal at the Valley, another one for Mike Williams.
Nervy finish for Morecambe if they want to hang on to all 3 points here. It's now Charlton 3, Morecambe 2. Lovely turn and shot from close range from the substitute Scott Fraser. Charlton back in it with under 10 minutes to play. Charlton 2, Morecambe 3.
Getting nervy here, indeed. His clearance is blocked. Edge of the area. Hwang on the ball for Wolves in this light grey kit. Neves lines one up, hits it well. Dewsbury Hall makes the block. It runs to Moutinho. Moutinho looks for the curling ball into the far post. Hwang jumps for the header. Lofted header. Oh, Everson catches it on the line. Then sort of tumbles back. His body goes over the goal line, but he very carefully keeps the ball ahead of the goal line.
He does really, really well, because he's a little bit off his line. As the ball goes over his head, he scrambles back very, very well. Very good footwork, and makes it look comfortable in the end.
Aaron Paul, don't ruin my Saturday afternoon. Been a goal at Peterborough Ipswich. What's the news?
Your boys are doing their bit. Peterborough 0, Ipswich Town 3. What a goal this is to mark 20 for the season from Freddie Ladapo. Ball in from the right. He controlled it on his chest and just volleyed it past the goalkeeper. Absolutely stunning stuff from Kieran McKenna's side. They are doing their bit. Peterborough 0, Ipswich 3.
Cracking game coming on Tuesday. Barnsley against Ipswich. Top 4, as I said, all winning in League One. Barnsley leading Oxford United by 2-0. Leicester are hunting the ball high up here. Neves has lost it. Good support from Daka for Dewsbury Hall. Brilliant from Dawson. Read the pass, slides in and clears the ball away for a throw. Latest from Brentford Villa, Katie Smith.
So Brentford 1, Villa 0. Oh, Brentford on the attack again. It's Jan Visser passing it out to the left to Mbermo in loads of space, edge of the area. Sends one flying in. Oh, but it's put over by Tony. So it's Brentford leading through that goal from Tony. We've had a stoppage though. Luca Dina needing treatment, blood and stitches. A high boot from Mbermo, nothing malicious, but sort of scraped the side of his head. So we've got about 7 minutes left to play here. Brentford 1, Villa 0.
Thank you, Katie. Similar here. 7 minutes plus added time. Daniel Podence and Pedro Neto are both on for Wolves. Neto on for Totti. Daniel Podence on for Mateus Nunes, and Nampali Mendy has just come on for Kelechi Iheanacho as well. Leicester have won a free kick in an attacking position wide on the left. Quickly to the stoop. Harlequins Bath. Chris Jones.
Across the road at Twickenham, Ali. Harlequins 35, Bath 43. Marcus Smith's break, Don Brandt's try brought Quins back into it, but a fantastic pass score. Ollie Lawrence's break, a Jomo in. That should be the game now. Harlequins 35, Bath 43.
Yeah, I should know that as well. Actually, had tickets to the game and couldn't do it because I'm here instead today watching Leicester 2, Wolves 1. Wickham 0, Lincoln 2 in League One. You're up to date with all the goals that have gone in up and down the country. So 6 minutes remaining. Leicester free kick. Another goal would make things far more comfortable for them after we've seen what they've done with the free kick. Then we'll run you down those scores in League One and get more thoughts from Mark Schwarzer sitting alongside me here. Free kick will come in from the right. Doing this without James Maddison. Had to withdraw from the game with illness today. In it comes from the right. Soyuncu with the header. Glances it just wide, Mark.
Yeah, it's half a chance there. It was a really good ball into the box there. Soyuncu under a lot of pressure. Gets up but just can't get enough on it. But it's a good delivery as well from that side there. Castagna whipped it in with some real pace.
Back to Selhurst Park. Lee Blakeman.
Palace 0, Everton 0. Everton down to 10. Palace piling on the pressure. Tyreek Mitchell's just had a shot blocked from close range. Milivojevic has had a pile driver blocked. We've got 3.5 to go. Everton Everton in the bottom three as things stand. Palace 0, Everton 0.
Yeah, on goal difference with Leicester winning this game. Liverpool leading Nottingham Forest by 3-2, and Brentford leading Villa 1-0. Leeds lost 2-1 at Fulham earlier on today. Dundee United have scored a second against Livingston. Dundee United 2, Livingston 0. Stephen Fletcher with the goal. Mendy's given a free kick away. Quickly he scores in League One then. Barnsley 2, Oxford 0. Bolton 1, Shrewsbury 0. Charlton 2, Morecambe 3. Absolute thriller at the Valley. Cheltenham 3, already relegated Forest Green 1. Derby 1, Burton 0. Fleetwood 1, MK Dons 0. Ipswich Town, as we just heard, 3-0 up away to Peterborough. The leaders Plymouth leading Cambridge by 3-1. Port Vale 2, Bristol Rovers 0. Portsmouth 1 up on Accrington Stanley. Sheffield Wednesday in front now against Exeter, lead 2-1. And Lincoln 2-0 up away to Wickham. Here come Wolves with Kilman. Kilman placed to the left-hand side to Pedence. 3.5 minutes plus added time to go. Leicester leading 2-1. Oh, Kilman's thrown himself to the floor, but he's won the free kick, edge of the box. Quickly to Stockport Rochdale. Adam Cottier.
Stockport 1, Rochdale 0. Rochdale heading out of the Football League, and it may happen while they're still in playing here. 10 minutes left, but what's happening up at Hartlepool between Hartlepool and Crawley means that Rochdale will be down here whatever they do. They were 1-0 down here at Stockport.
Wolves waiting to take the free kick here. DW Stadium, there's been a goal. Shojo Saka.
Wigan 2, Millwall 1. Wigan know they have to win to realistically maintain their hopes of staying up. They're back in front through Tilo Asgard off the bench. Great work by Callum Lang. Wigan just about staying up. Wigan 2, Millwall 1.
Bradford 2, Gillingham 1. Blackpool 1 up away at Birmingham as well. Pat Murphy was telling us about that a little bit earlier on. So Wigan and Blackpool, great effort from them today. We are heading to Wembley shortly, of course. FA Cup semi-final on the way in full here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Manchester City against Sheffield United. Ruben Neves, it was as if he knew that we had to do the updates. He was waiting. Referee blows the whistle. 5-man Leicester wall. Neves with the pile driver curler. What a save! Everson, it was heading for the top corner. Full stretch, tips it over the bar.
Yeah, massive save from Everson. Really well done from him, because you could see the way that Neves was set up. The distance with the wall was inside the box. Didn't have enough room to get up and over. He was always going to go the goalkeeper's side. Everson did not move, stood his ground, and it's a top class save.
Wolves corner to come, taking it Brentford very shortly. There's been another goal in that game between Brentford and Aston Villa. Last we heard it was Brentford 1, Villa 0. Corner from João Moutinho into the near post. Dawson tries to attack it, comes out and Neves drives it low, blocked by Soyuncu. Leicester desperately trying to clear. Christensen does that. The ball goes out for a throw. Katie Smith at Brentford.
Equaliser for Villa. Brentford 1, Villa 1. Douglas Luiz, the ball pinging around the area, but cut back by Buendia and shot home by Douglas Luiz. 4th of the season for him, and it could be a big point. Brentford 1, Villa 1.
FA Cup semi-final underway at Wembley. John Murray.
Yes, Manchester City second in the Premier League against Sheffield United, second in the Championship. We've played for 2.5 minutes and Sheffield United could already be in front from a corner. Egan headed it across and Jai took a touch and shot in the 6-yard box, but it was saved by Ortega. First chance of the match, Sheffield United still 0-0.
Yeah, with you as soon as we can, John. John will be there tomorrow as well alongside Matthew Upson for Brighton against Manchester United in the second FA Cup semi-final, which kicks off at 4:30. Latest in the Championship then. Birmingham 0, Blackpool 1. Bristol City 1, Rotherham 1. Burnley 1, QPR 1. Cardiff 1, Stoke 1. Coventry 2, Reading 1. Hull leading Watford 1-0. Swansea are 3-0 up at Norwich City. And up on the big screen here at Leicester, VAR are checking a possible penalty for a handball. Mark Schwartz is having a look. Norwich 0, Swansea 3. Wigan 2, Millwall 1. No penalty given. What did he see, Mark?
Yeah, it was from the corner that just came across there. About Faz came across. It looked like it may have brushed his arm, but his arm was in a normal sort of position. But they did do the check and obviously deemed it not to be a penalty.
So Leicester leading Wolves by 2-1. We're in the 90th minute of the game. João Moutinho, a little pass to his right-hand side. Wolves having won their last 2 games against Chelsea and Brentford, trying everything to get back into it. And poor old Leicester fans listening to us on 5 Live and BBC Sounds this afternoon have got 5 more minutes of this to endure. 5 minutes of added time. Wolves have won a free kick, and 3 points will make such a difference to Leicester. They would be out of the bottom 3 tonight as things stand on goal difference. Pedence works the ball onto his right foot. Pedence, that'll cut back down the left here. Cross comes in from Neto, takes a deflection. Fast gives it the shout, volleys it away with his right foot. Daka throws himself to the floor. There wasn't much in that. Pedence bumps into him. Can't believe the referee's given that as a free kick, but Daka's done it.
Patson Daka's done really well because he gave away the free kick just moments before. He was on the wrong side of him, and he's committed a foul, and now he's made up for it because he did kind of milk the foul. He positioned himself in the right place. Pedence, there was a sort of a slight shove, and he's gone down really easy, Daka, but the referee's bought it, and he's bought his team some more time.
Yeah, 4 minutes of added time remaining. Straight to Wembley after this game, but as it stands, Leicester moving out of the bottom three. So tonight you would have Southampton, Nottingham Forest and Everton sitting in the bottom three. Bristol City, late goal, added time at home against Rotherham. Bad news for Rotherham in the relegation battle. Bristol City 2, Rotherham 1. Full time at Twickenham, Chris Jones.
Harlequins 35, Bath 45. This was the big summer kick-off party for Quins, but Bath have ruined it. They deserved it as well, Bath. They scored 6 tries, a mix of forward power and cutting edge in the back line. Ollie Lawrence, Max Ajomo both impressive. Ben Spencer kicked like a dream from scrum half. Bath rallying really well at the end of the campaign. They keep up their hopes of Champions Cup rugby next season. Quins' season, though, has really petered out. Quins 35, Bath 45.
Pedro Neto's ball across the face of the Leicester goal, collected by Semedo wide on the right-hand side. Dewsbury Hall in with an interception. Goal at Turf Moor, John Bennett.
What a massive goal this could be for QPR. It's Chris Martin. Burnley 1, QPR 2. A header, brilliant header late on. Burnley haven't been beaten this season at Turf Moor, but it's Burnley 1, QPR 2.
Here come Wolves again. Don't you just love a Saturday afternoon on 5 Live Sport? Neto's curling cross into the far post. Semedo tries to attack it. He leaps underneath the ball. It'll go away for a goal kick. Late goal for Altrincham in the National League. Altrincham 2, Torquay 2. Torquay at the moment as it stands on 47 points. 3 points behind Maidenhead United with a game to play, but the goal difference is significantly worse. -22 to -15. Terrible goal to concede for Torquay then. Added time here. Moutinho with the corner. Headed away by Christensen. Neves, the danger man, dipping volley. No, Everson's got it covered. And wide it goes. Full-time whistle, I think, has blown at Cardiff. Laura Kenyon.
It's finished Cardiff 1, Stoke 1, and Cardiff forced to settle for a single point as their fight for championship survival continues. Sorry, Cabba's penalty saved by Jack Bonham. Cardiff, they are now missing that huge opportunity for relegation, for staying up and not being set down from the championship. It's finished 1-0.
So, Leicester 2, Wolves 1. My stopwatch tells me 2 minutes of added time to play. Then we're taking you straight to Wembley. Liverpool leading Nottingham Forest 3-2. Brentford 1, Villa 1. Late Douglas Luiz equaliser there for Villa, and still Palace 0, Everton 0. Here's Neto. Neto, edge of the Leicester penalty area, hits the right foot shot, takes a deflection off fast, goes behind for a corner. Nervy moments.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just a moment just before that, and Didi gets the ball, he panics, he looks to try and just clear his lines, but he had time on the ball. He could have easily just ran down the clock a little bit, or gives it straight back to Wolves. They break, now they've got a corner.
Just over a minute to play. Leicester fans can't bear it. Pedence's corner, good delivery, header flicked over the crossbar by Kilman. Leicester fans loving that. So a minute to kill. They're leading by 2-1. 2 Premier League commentaries tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Newcastle Tottenham on 5 Live. Bournemouth West Ham on Radio 5 Sports Extra. And this, if Leicester get across the line, having come from a goal behind, sets them up beautifully, Mark Schwarzer, for Leeds away on Tuesday night.
Well, they give themselves every chance, and that's what it's about, building momentum. It's that 45 minutes in the second half against Manchester City, continuing in this game against Wolves. If they can carry this game over the line, they will put themselves in the best possible position leading into the Leeds game.
Got 30 seconds to see it out. Thunderous roar on the way. If they do, they will be out of the bottom 3. Full-time at Selhurst Park. Lee Blakeman.
Palace 0, Everton 0. Everton in the relegation zone on goal difference. They had Mason Holgate sent off for 2 yellow cards. Palace had a goal for Eze, disallowed for offside. Palace 0, Everton 0.
Referee Andy Madley's had a look at his watch. Jose Sarr clears. They've done it. A first win since the middle of February for Leicester takes them out of the bottom 3 on goal difference. They were 1-0 down. Kelechi Iheanacho's penalty got them level. And then the crucial second in the second half. wins them this game by 2-1. They still believe. Leeds away on Tuesday, Everton at home a week on Monday, Liverpool leading Nottingham Forest by 3-2, Brentford 1, Villa 1. It's finished Palace 0, Everton 0, and we're taking you straight to Wembley now for that first FA Cup semi-final. Leon Osman alongside our football correspondent John Murray.